36 months you smell turd. Gaming gamer.
There is a white man on my screen. White man. White man. White man. Stinky white man.
Yippee. Hello funny fart man, hope your weekend was good. That goes for chat as well, except they all stink and need to shower.
What's up? Yo, I turned my ring light around. I'm kind of shocked that the lighting feels the same. Except I don't have a bright light beaming on my eyes. Last night I didn't believe someone so young could have so many health issues, so you didn't get pain relief for 5 hours. Bruh. Bruh. Is that Lucy? Yeah. Goose. Goosey. Goose. Goose. What are we doing today? You know, I don't really know. I really don't know, man. I'm still so tired. So I'm like,
You hate me specifically. I lay down to nape and you go live shaking my head. Anyway, 11 months with my favorite white boy and community Sneeg love.
what are you doing, man? See? What a guy.
Y'all am so back in my emo phase, it is crazy. Non-stop MCR.
Did I buy the Warden hoodie? That shit's $90.
My hand hurts from caulking some nail holes. Also.
40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7,
What
6,
are you two
5,
doing?
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Boomer likes getting his little neck scratched. Look at him. That's his favorite spot right here. Oh, Bubba. Oh. Yeah, man. What's up? I feel so like worn out. This weekend was like a lot. Not because it was hard or I didn't like it, but yeah. Friday was a long day just because my stomach okay? Yeah. My stomach was honestly fine after the first day. Kids reacts, I know, but I'm like could.
Well, college has destroyed me, but here I am for 12 months. Okay by
stomach does not
Sneeg and
hurt.
Freaks.
I'm just tired, bro. What I do know is that I'm playing Peak with Gumi and a few others around 7. So yeah. I mean, yeah, this weekend was really fun. It was just I'm very tired because it was like Friday I packed, got on a plane, landed, drove about an hour. Right after that, within the next 2 hours of that, we started streaming the fast food thing. And then did the You Laugh, You Lose the next day. And basically skipped a whole sleep cycle because I didn't sleep barely at all before my flight at 3 a.m. Or my flight was at 4:50 boarding, but I had to leave at like 3. So I'm tired. I just want to like
Hello freaks and streamer, I got cursed with the illness but at least I have a
Reacting
strawberries
might
and
be
cream
good.
Dr. Pepper and some buffalo chicken dip. There is a new Defunctland video if you wanna react and it.
It's 4 hours long. What the hell? God damn. It really is 4 hours long. What a monster. What the fuck? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Let's do some reacting anyway, though. We'll do some reacting because honestly, the more I think about doing anything, the more I'm like, so.
Execute Order 66.
On it, boss.
Okay.
Hi chat and stink man. Woe we 12 months. Having my rabbits bonded is the cutest thing ever. Their size difference is very comedic and they are perfect together.
Chat, get ready to start typing to YouTube because I'm gonna grab some videos and then we'll do our little, I'll do my little intro. But yeah, I guess we can do some reacting for now. Once again, I mean, I'm like, I feel so tired just thinking about doing stuff. So. Yeah. Let me figure out some videos really quick. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Did Markiplier cheat at his FNAF 1020 win? I don't care. Who cares though? Why should I care? Why should I care that he made like good content? That's an explore with us video, you. That's an hour.
Honestly.
Everything's so loud, bro. Everything's so loud. Yeah, that's the channel that crashed
I
out for
just
like a
wanted
week
to
on
say
Twitter over
thank you.
me.
Your streams and VODs have kept my mind occupied and spirits high while undergoing my cancer treatments, so thank you. Hello chat and Sneeg.
No problem.
Hope your day has been good. Smile.
You're... Yeah. It's been good. Best of luck with your treatment, dude. Best of luck. Oh wait, I had one. I wanted to for sure watch. Where's this guy? Nicholas Casadas. Yeah. I don't know which one of these videos would be good.
Hey guys, I just wanted to. Sorry about that. I guess I wanted to say happy birthday to the streamer and...
Happy, it's not my birthday. My problem with this is that the videos on this guy are like all just separate pieces of the court case, not. Let me see if I can look up his interrogation. Dang, it's 2 hours long though.
Happy birthday.
What?
Yeah.
This one good?
Happy birthday, Sneeg.
What? These are so weird. Anyway. Cool. An ad break's about to end. Froggy Shade, thank you for the 44. Jelwo, thank you for the 11. Quillians, thank you for the 47. Shaded, thank you for the year. Jesus, thank you for the 66. Odysseus, thank you for the 15. Astridiet. Thank you for the 12. Boop, thank you for the 27. Whale Shard, thank you for the 32. Goth, thank you for the 11. Kaz Tato with the 17 months, fart month. Very cool. Demon with the 18. Allure with the 4. J Run with the 16.
Hello,
Omni
Mr.
with the
Sneeg and
26.
chat. Your hockey team is playing mine tonight and I hope you guys lose. Smile. Back to playing Minecraft. Goodbye, my beautiful friends.
Yeah, goodbye because you're banned. Z-Bunny, thank you for the 36. Dragon Cat, thank you for the 64. Limelin, thank you for the... Oh, that was yesterday. Whoops. Thanks for the 38, even though you're banned. All right. Welcome to the videos today. We're going to be reacting to some stuff, true crime, and maybe not. This stuff comes from the reaction channel of my Discord, so if you have any cool videos, you can go to my reaction Discord channel. Go to my Discord. Professional. And yeah, we live stream these, and if you don't already follow me on Twitch, you should do that. We stream almost every day. It might not be reacting to this stuff, but it is a stream. So, and if you're watching on Twitch right now, go sub to the YouTube channel. That's about it. Let's do it. All right. Video uno. Why is this messed up again? Wait. There you go. So I listened to a podcast the other day.
Thanks for streaming today, man. I really need it at the moment. Feeling very unwell, but my school has no free counseling appointments until next year. Haha, I love healthcare.
Yeah, that's real.
Hi chat, it's me.
Hi.
I'm Rascal from the hit Twitch chat found at twitch.tv/Sneegsnag. I got a new PC today. Yahoo! It's pretty freaking sweet.
Great time to get a new PC because all of it's about to get so expensive. Mm-mm. Mm. Anyway, I didn't do my Instagram post. I can't do it. I'm too tired. Anyway, so I watched a podcast the other day about this murder. A lot of you probably know about Small Town Murder. It's a podcast that goes over small town murders. This one got a decent amount of attention, and hopefully this interrogation kind of explains as to why. But hopefully I can remember to fill in some gaps if it doesn't. So I thought the case was a bit ridiculous. I thought maybe we could listen to the interrogation and see how ridiculous it actually was, because obviously I was hearing it from the recollecting storytelling of another group. But yeah.
Your phone. Yes, yeah. No, yeah, so I was asked not to bring my phone out to the place when I was in the Savannah area. I had my phone with me.
But you still had your phone with you?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. But you still had your phone with you when you went out to the place?
Yeah, I had it. It was turned off.
Even though Mindy asked you not to carry your phone?
My understanding was that it was just going to be on.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll read the description because the description's helpful here. Accused killer Nicholas Casadas was confronted by the police in 2023 during an intense interrogation about the murder of his wife, Mindy. During the interrogation, an officer asked Casadas if he had hurt his wife, which he quickly denied. However, police believed the story didn't add up and considered him a prime suspect in the murders. I'm not sure if it'll go over this, but just in case. Basically, this guy was a Navy lawyer. They're called JAGs. He basically helps Navy people with either, yeah, he just helps law, like the Navy people in the courtroom, whatever, right? So he did that for a while, whatever, okay? He ends up marrying this girl at some point. Basically, he marries a girl, gets divorced to her. In the divorce, claims he has millions of dollars, right? So he basically, within the settlement, the guy is like, okay, give your ex-wife $1 million. Something like that. Essentially, he is saying that he can't or he doesn't because he's convinced that his money is being stolen. So he is saying that, and a guy approached him from the FBI and claimed that he was able to track it down and help him, etc. But he needs to like listen to him, give him access to all of his food, not his food, all of his money, his cell phone, his information, all that stuff, right? So he basically marries this other girl really quickly, but because of this investigation with this FBI guy and all this stuff surrounding like where his money is going, he's under the belief that he's being targeted by an outside group due to his military involvement, right? So essentially, he's having to move from house to house constantly under the fear of being attacked by these people, with his wife. And eventually his wife goes missing. His new wife? Yes, this is the new wife. There's a lot more to it, but I want to see what they end up talking about.
So just turn off your phone.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
They're discussing how they're discussing how he had his phone off around the time of his wife's death.
But you did have it with you.
Yes, I did have it with
But
me.
you just turned it off.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that your car has a phone?
I do not know my car has a phone.
Okay. So they didn't tell you at the dealership about AT&T service?
No, sir.
What they're explaining to him is they found his wife in a bunch of other pieces, in a bunch of various pieces, inside of like a hunting range, essentially. And his phone was on all the way up to near the location. And then his phone went off, except what he doesn't know is that his car's Bluetooth also keeps location tracking on. So obviously they have every single move he made in his car inside of this range, and then they find all of the body parts. Is he divorced or not? He is divorced. So this is his second wife who's missing. Essentially, okay, so essentially his second wife, this is the bit of a confuser here, is his second wife and him announced that they're pregnant. All the while COVID's happening and he's being targeted by overseas people, right? So he's like moving around. He's terrified. She's terrified. She's pregnant. She gets so scared she never leaves the house, right? Eventually, he becomes a writer. He goes out of town. This is his story, by the way. This is he goes out of town. His wife texts him saying that she's going to have to go to the hospital because she's experiencing pain, etc. She's worried about the birth, whatever, right? So he is like, should I go home? She says no. She goes to the hospital, okay? Mind you, the only time he is claiming that the only time they ever got a doctor to go to check on her during the pregnancy was a random dude with a doctor bag coming to their house. So she says she's going to the hospital. He's like, oh, okay. He he gets home. She's not there. He waits a bit. He gets in contact with the place. This is him explaining it to he explained this to like his family and the police eventually. I don't know if it'll get brought up, but he basically was like, he got a call to go, and when he got there was a dude waiting for him, and he was just like, your wife's dead. So he went home. He went home, as one does, obviously, in that moment. He did not get the body, nor did he get to see her. He basically said that he told the police that he figured she was having an autopsy done, so he didn't get to see her. And then he got a call eventually because her body got cremated. It didn't. And he got a random call from somebody to get the ashes for $5,000. So he drove down to some random area in Alabama. This takes place in Georgia, by the way, and a bunch of other places because he moved everywhere. But the main crime is her death and body are found in Georgia, in the Savannah, Georgia area, I think. So he goes all the way down to Alabama to exchange money for the ashes of his wife. So his wife died. Okay? According to him, his pregnant wife died, etc. Okay? His wife went to the hospital when he was out of town to get checked on because she was worried, and she suddenly died. No mention of the baby, nothing, okay? So, obviously her body is eventually found, or a piece of her is found, because she was dismembered into pieces, which is just like totally cool and not weird at all. Definitely something you do for, definitely not messed up. They eventually find all of the pieces except her head, I believe. I don't actually remember if they find her head or not without help, but they do an autopsy on her body, her actual body, because they found her dead body. She was never pregnant. She was never pregnant, which is weird because multiple people who were close to these two said that both of them claimed to be pregnant, including her. And it's not really clear as to why they did that, because he's vehemently claiming that she was, okay? He still does. There's no explanation as to why that happened. So there's that. And you'll be shocked to find out that he basically got detained right after marrying a different person who he had actually been messaging for quite some time beforehand, including before his wife's mysterious hospital death that definitely happened. Gosh, what else am I missing? So, well, okay, we'll see where it goes. So anyway, they're basically asking him about his car because he's turned his phone off when he was at the disposal sites, but he didn't realize that his car's Bluetooth also tracks location because that's how Bluetooth works. So his car is at every single spot where her body was dumped. Did he say why he killed her? No, he's denied killing her the entire time. Still has. So they're basically like, your car gave you away, right? And he's got, I'm pretty sure he'll talk about it. He's got a great reason.
What did you put in the tubs again? Electronics, her laptop, some books, clothing, shoes, toiletries for both of us.
He's explaining. So maybe they're not going to explain this. He's explaining. Okay, so get this, guys. He's explaining that at the time of the murder, or a little before the murder, or whatever, okay, he was contacted by his FBI guy, something McEntire. I don't remember the first name. And he was told to move, because this was apparently a frequent problem. He told him to grab some stuff, put it in tubs, meet him at a building. Of course, he doesn't know what the building was or who he met. Of course, you can't remember that. God forbid a guy remembers everything. And he was told not only to hand over the boxes of stuff to pack to move to the new place to this random guy, he was also told to swap cars with him. So he didn't have his car at the time of the murder, guys, because a guy that he cannot recollect, nor name, nor show, or find, met him at a place he can't remember and won't be able to tell, to swap cars. Also, the car he swapped for exploded. It exploded. Yeah. That's a fun factoid. That's an important piece. The car he did have exploded. So obviously he doesn't have that car either, guys. So
she wanted makeup, perfume, basically everything we would need for
Your stuff too, though. So
Yeah.
you had one of yours and one of mine.
guys, shut up. It makes sense.
It's normal.
It makes sense, guys. You guys are being mean.
One of the third parties and probably 2/3 of mine.
But so why would you drop your stuff off when you could have your stuff anyway? Why was that being dropped off?
I assumed that this had something to do with us leaving Savannah. We had weird things that we've been asked to do before we moved locations and things like that, and I assumed it had something to do with that.
Okay. All right. Did you kill your wife?
No, sir.
Okay.
I swear to God, I would ever.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
I saw my wife on Saturday, the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Never heard his wife.
You did not kill your wife.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, sir.
And you know about the preponderance of evidence?
Yes, sir.
Very well.
Yes, sir.
We're at way beyond the preponderance of evidence. Okay. We talked about this.
Yes, sir. I told you where that knife is.
Okay. You remember that building?
No, sir.
Dude, sometimes cars just explode, man. It's crazy. You guys don't get it. His wife died suddenly. Okay? And his wife died suddenly, guys. And instead of staying and wanting to see her and wanting to make sure that's real and prove it, he went home because he was so in shock that he didn't even ask to see her or ask the body to be produced. And then they instantly cremated her. You guys are being so fucking rude right now.
You remember when?
That's a grieving husband.
A little, I don't know, sir. I'm not sure what I did.
Nick, did you love Mindy?
Yes, sir.
Did you love her parents?
Yes, sir.
Frankie, that's it?
Yes, sir.
You want to help us put all this together?
Yes, sir. We're gonna,
Jesus Christ.
So we need you to be truthful with us.
Says,
sir, I'm being 100%.
just says sir. Why does he keep saying sir?
Sir, yes, I am.
Sir.
Your phone,
Yes, sir.
your car's phone, the videos. I mean, who else has the luck of going on a
Yes, sir.
25,000 acre property and get captured on video?
Yes, sir.
The 45 minutes that you spent there at one location.
Navy guy? Yeah.
With the tubs.
So, I mean, yeah, it makes sense why.
Wednesday night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your DNA.
Sir, I did not hurt my wife.
Sir, I didn't do it,
You dispose
sir.
of it.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
And all evidence is showing that.
Sir, I
And
never.
your elaborate
Sir.
2 hours of story that you gave in Pennsylvania, you know how many
Sir.
items, you being an attorney, you should realize how many of those can be disproven.
Sir, I have not lied to you at all.
You've been living the web of lies for a long time.
No, sir.
That's when your finances, when Jim McIntyre, all these people. the
Jim
Microsoft stuff.
McIntyre.
I think Jim has lied to me for a long time. I do believe that.
I don't believe Jim exists.
Yeah, Jim. Yeah, so his story. So Mr. Casadas' story here is that Jim McIntyre contacted him years ago, claiming to be the FBI, saying that he wanted to investigate the financial disappearances that he's been dealing with, his $32 million. But he needed to lay low and that he was being targeted because they were looking into it, etc., right? So he's claiming basically that Jim McIntyre has control of all of his finances, his life, his location, when he moves, where he goes, how long he stays, all this stuff, right? So he basically uses Jim as an excuse for everything, yet can't describe Jim, can't explain where he was. He doesn't exist in the FBI's records. Also can't, when when asked to describe him, he said he changed appearances frequently.
Sir Jim absolutely exists. I don't know if that's his real name.
Sir Jim
but he
absolutely exists. Yep.
I mean, the things that we did for years, the places we went,
You did to get away from the judgment from Hitler.
no, sir.
Huh?
So you didn't know you were wanted and on the run from Hitler and the judgment, the civil judgment.
No, sir. Jim told me that I'd been taken care of.
How did Jim take care of that?
I don't know, sir.
What?
You didn't feel a responsibility to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, has it been taken care of?"
No, he told me it had been taken care of. I never heard anything else.
So,
No, sir.
So you admitted
No, sir.
No, sir.
You never lived together.
No, sir.
The three of us?
The three of you.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Never, sir.
Okay. What about all the money you got to live off of when you made all these moves with Jim?
No,
You
sir.
said Jim was providing you money.
Jim and friends, I said, sir.
Jim and friends.
Yes.
What about just one friend?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was the majority of it came from one friend. There were other friends who gave us money as well.
have you ever been without?
Oh yeah, fun fact. So when this started, he
Crime time, 29 months, yeet, Sneeg, crime,
So-
Sneeg,
so
pop,
basically-
Sneeg, dance.
basically when this these attacks and money disappearing happened to him, he when he started to initially needing to go on the run, he asked a friend for her money just as a way to get started because Jim had all of his money, guys. So he basically asked his friend for help so he could get moving, and then proceeded to spend over $200,000 on her credit card in the next handful of years. While this happened for years, by the way. Yeah. So basically, he just used her card and stole money with her credit card for years. Spoiler alert, Jim's not fucking real, by the way. Essentially, he gets brought in for questioning for a few reasons. They find her body, right? So they find her body, they get a general idea of what she is, what she could look like, etc., right? They send out a thing asking people to help identify her. This is something that happens with the police every now and then if they have trouble. And wouldn't you know, his first ex-wife contacts the police and says, that's her, and I bet he killed her. Because, and you know, I mean, she probably did it because she's got a chip on her shoulder, because years have passed and he has not paid her $1 million in her divorce settlement, right? So she's trying to get her money. She's trying to track him down. She sees this thing, sees this, like, I help identify this person sort of call. And she's like, damn, that looks like, and she's met her like once. She met her like one time or so. So she's kind of like, damn, that kind of looks like my ex-husband's new wife, and that asshole owes me money. So I'm going to call the FBI on him, essentially. So that's how he ends up getting brought in for questioning. Because his ex-wife ratted him out because he didn't pay up. Because basically, he doesn't have money. He doesn't have money, guys. He never had money. He claims that he made a bunch of money because he worked for a company that he invested in and then it took off. Except there's no record of this company existing, by the way. Except for some reason within court, he bragged about having a ton of money. Why, you ask? I don't know. But he apparently bragged a ton during his divorce case about him having millions. So the judge was like, okay, why don't you give her a little bit of that million? And ever since he had been, essentially the theory is that because he accidentally made himself owe $1 million plus to his ex-wife, he started this on the run conquest to like avoid dealing with her and paying that. So this could have been prevented? Oh, 100%. If this is as obvious as it is, he basically lied about having money in court, owes his ex-wife $1 million+ because he doesn't have that shit. He started running away and used this fake thing of like his money disappearing and Jim McIntyre as an excuse to tell his wife they needed to move around all the time. Eventually gets sick of his wife because he started talking to another girl who was also a horror writer because he became a dark horror writer, whatever, right? He kills his wife, makes this whole story up about her dying in childbirth at the hospital while he was gone, whatever. She got cremated instantly. And then he basically started a new life with this girl. Not very far into it, he gets arrested, obviously, due to his first wife calling the FBI on him. Because why wouldn't you? And then when they looked into him, they noticed that he had like, I don't know, his car right there the whole time. So yeah, basically if he had just not been an idiot and been bragging about money that he didn't have, he might not have done all this shit, but who knows?
Yes, sir.
And desperate.
Yes, sir.
When was that?
February, right before we went to Franklin Records.
Have you ever lied in court?
No, sir.
Okay. When
Yes,
you
sir.
testified that you had $32 million.
Yes, sir.
that
Yes,
was
sir.
I believed it was true, sir.
true. You believe it's true.
I believed it was true.
I believed it was
I don't know what
true.
to believe anymore, sir.
Why did you believe that was true?
Because I had documents that had been provided to me that I had $32 million.
That you didn't earn.
No, that I did. I had
Provided to him by Jim,
worked
obviously.
around the clock on these projects.
Okay. So you thought it was from your projects.
Yes.
Working around that. And you had $32 million that you didn't have.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Jim told me that I had it, that I couldn't access it.
Tell me about Samantha. When did you meet Samantha?
We were aware, I guess, of each other for a while.
Savannah's his third wife that he married shortly after his wife that he absolutely killed disappeared.
But we started talking.
And was dead. In which also, I forgot to even mention this, he could not provide her death certificates. Didn't get it. He didn't get it. Didn't bother. Because why would you? Why would you get her death certificate? Obviously. That would be silly. No need for that.
Y'all were fairly close.
We got
online. I mean.
Yeah, I guess we got fairly close in November.
Okay. So why would you tell her in October that your wife had died while pregnant?
Because I had to tell everyone that.
Okay. Why did you tell everyone else that lie?
What?
Why would you tell everyone that lie?
Because my understanding was that both of our online worlds were. This goes back to fall of 2020. Mindy got very sick. She was.
The point of that is that's a lie. She was alive and well.
Yes, sir.
You continue telling other people that she was alive and well when she was dead. And then you continue to tell people vice versa that she was dead leading up when she was alive and well.
Yes, sir.
Multiple people.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Friends and family.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, sir, can you repeat that question? I'm not sure I understood what.
Yes, sir.
You continue to tell people the story that she had died while pregnant.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Even before she was dead.
Sir, I was told starting in 2020 that Jim felt that we had both gotten too close to people online, that we were talking too much. We had rules about when we could talk to friends.
So why not just not talk to people? Why are you telling lies to people?
Classic
That
Jim.
you were befriended on the internet.
Because we were cut off for.
Why are you telling lies that you?
One of the people he made friends with on the internet is the girl he married after he killed his wife, by the way.
People that you weren't cut off from.
What lies I told people I was
The same story that she had died while pregnant.
Oops.
And if that's the case with your online stuff, why start a new relationship with somebody else that you really don't know?
Silly me.
It was a mess.
Remember the old Tom Sawyer story?
I'm not sure. I do say.
I always tell the truth. It's easier to keep up with than a lie.
Yes, sir.
You kept up with
Great. Why would Jim make him do that?
a lot of lies, a lot of stories.
Fucked up.
And then none of them turned out to be true. I gave you 2 hours in Pennsylvania. We went through everyone. And I've been through every one of them, and the evidence that Barbara shows that you're continuing to lie and tell the story.
Sir, not going to.
Sir.
And now's the time for this.
Sir, no.
Here's the deal. There's a reason that Mindy died.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't
You know, yes, you know very well that reason, because you killed her.
I did not.
The big question is why.
Sir, I would never have killed Mindy.
Sir.
I woke up in the morning and I took care of her. I rubbed her back, I rubbed her legs.
And she wasn't pregnant.
Sir.
Sir, she was due in January.
But she was not
She
pregnant.
was not pregnant.
No, she was pregnant.
Even the times that y'all were saying that she was pregnant, she was not pregnant. She was not pregnant at the time of her death.
Sir, she was.
She was not. That's a medical certainty. She was not pregnant.
What a pause.
The doctors that you're saying that she went to, that just you don't know their names, don't know the location, you never mentioned an actual doctor that she saw for a thyroid problem.
Yeah, doesn't know the place
You never mentioned
or
doctors
the
that you
doctor
visited.
that pronounced her dead.
I don't know the last. I do know the last time I visited a doctor, sir. I visited one in probably 4 or 5.
What about the CVS pickups for medication?
Yeah, I would routinely pick up her medication.
It's been prescribed by a doctor?
Yes.
That's not the doctor you would take her to or that would know about her death?
No, those were medication refills that we did like a telehealth thing.
more stories. I mean, just kind of elaborate stories to exist. But the point is,
So
you killed Mindy.
You can look at the CPF.
Why did you kill Mindy?
Sir, I didn't kill Mindy.
You killed Mindy.
I did not.
All the evidence shows that you killed Mindy.
Why would he add a pregnancy to the story? See, that's the, once again, that's kind of the issue, is like, that's not really, nobody really knows. Because once again, not only is he like demanding that she was, she also said she was. And when asked about the pregnancy test, he says, he said something like, I'm not sure if I saw that one, but I did see one. Which is just a non-answer, by the way, in case that's not obvious. So he's basically like, yeah, I saw one at some point. Okay. So there's not really like a good answer. Boom. Doing. Her. No. On. So yeah, I don't have an answer because there isn't an answer. He hasn't admitted to anything. And also she was also claiming to be pregnant at the time while she was alive. So there's not really like an answer because, like, once again,
1,000-piece puzzle.
I don't.
You burned some of the pieces.
Nobody know.
You've thrown some of the pieces away. We'll never have all the pieces. It's very clear. You made that absolutely sure we won't have the pieces. But we've got enough to see a very clear picture and to show that picture to a jury. And that jury is going to conclude one thing, the same thing I'm telling you. You killed Mindy. No doubt.
When you placed her body out there, you did us some favors.
Sir.
Where you placed it. It preserved some things. You weren't expecting her to be found so quickly.
Sir, I never saw her when she died. I never hurt Mindy.
You did hurt Mindy.
No, I fed her. I helped her out of bed.
You started one relationship with somebody online.
I was flirting with someone online.
You were running out of options. You were running out of funds.
No, sir.
Did you discover the lie?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
She wasn't.
I thought she was pregnant.
I'm so respectful of law enforcement. No, sir.
That Jim was so good at his job of protecting you.
Bro wants to put the balls in too.
Why would I come forward with any evidence now?
I think Jim lied to me about a million things.
Yes, Jim lied to him, guys. You don't get it. Jim's a fraud.
I don't think Jim was telling you the truth about anything.
Classic fucking Jim.
He did exist, sir. We did everything that.
Classic super real Jim McIntyre, guys. You don't understand.
Yes, sir.
You guys don't get it. You don't get it, guys.
Tell me you left the back door.
Yes,
not the back door.
Yes, sir.
So you leave, you're so afraid because you thought he had beat you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where was Mindy?
She stayed there. He hadn't seen her.
So you cared so much for her, you left her in the house when you were running out the back door.
No, sir. She knew I was leaving. Like
But you didn't stay there to protect her.
No, sir.
You didn't call 911. You didn't call for any help from anyone.
No,
we walked down the alley.
We called for help for Jim, who we depended on for everything.
Let's go back, because just the other day you said you didn't call, that he found you. He found you in the parking lot at the hospital.
Yeah, we had I forget if it was a phone call or if it was a message, but I didn't go there.
That question was asked very clearly and asked twice. Did you contact Jim that day? And you said no. He picked me up in the parking lot. Absolutely, there was no messaging From the time you walked out the back door down the alley.
I did not understand that question.
Okay,
He didn't just like find, no.
The question is, how did he know where you were? And he just appeared out of nowhere. He's followed you in multiple states, and he just appears.
What an interesting way to upload this video, by the way. Like, didn't full screen the VLC player at all. Just kind of noticing it now. It's bothering me. Like, why did we not full screen? Just like, okay.
So, are you alleging that Jim killed your wife?
Just screen recorded the capture for some reason.
So, and the doctors conspired. They created this fake doctor facility of a name that you don't even know, a location you don't even know.
Side of the road pickup for
And you didn't
ashes.
see your wife.
Yep.
Just so happens your
Picked his ashes, his wife's ashes up on the side of the road.
Where you were at.
Yep.
Down this long dirt road that just happened to pass a camera and tracks your every movement. The stop at the Marathon store off the interstate where you swiped your card.
Yep.
All those records, purchasing the knife to go do skill
happened.
work.
In November.
Yes, sir. You can find
that exact knife. That exact knife 2 hours later ends up.
Sir, I told you where that.
Yeah, he went to a store and bought a knife, by the way. Because once again, we have Genius of the Year. We have absolute Genius of the Year here. He bought a knife that was found where his wife's body was. He also bought a deer kit to basically chop up deer parts that they never found, that he also claimed was a gift for his brother-in-law, but his brother-in-law said he literally never got it nor heard of it. So, you know, obviously Mr. Casadas here has his story just absolutely airtight. So
Knife is.
That knife's not there. I know exactly where that knife is.
Sir, I told you that knife is in the back of that.
Took a GBI crop.
It's a GBI crop. Exactly.
It was found out there with the black toe.
So you can continue with the web of lies in the story. There's always reason for things. Is your reason that you're just a vicious killer and decided to kill your wife, or did y'all get in some kind of argument? What was your motive for killing?
Sir.
I never heard of.
The story is not what you're telling.
Sir.
Why is it so different?
What do you mean, sir?
Your elaborate story of on the run all this time and all the periods of stuff and the web of lies, why is it so different than what happened with her that the records show, the evidence shows, the DNA shows? Why is all that? Is you're being set up, is what you're saying?
I don't know, sir. I don't understand.
So your phone and your own person that you said was turned off,
Yes, sir.
still goes to those containers on a property that's 25,000 acres down a dirt road, 40 minutes from the house in Savannah, that matches the GPI, all the stuff matches. That knife that you purchased at Home Depot ends up there as well. The cleaning, the purchasing, the credit card swipes, the story that continued, the lies that you told to many others. Some people who you think are still on your side are actually some of the best witnesses against you. They know the story, and they're going to tell that story when they testify.
The Capital One card you're using for all these years, getting food, takeout, lodging, paying for all the places, the Airbnbs, the Verbos you stayed at, we have all those records.
Yes, sir.
And the Renaissance,
Yes, sir.
the current stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you're saying it's big, everybody's created all these records of items that were on your person.
Used his credit card? No. He borrowed money from his friend to initially start this on the lam sort of deal, and then proceeded to steal over $200,000 on her credit card throughout the 3 years that this happened.
On that same very day,
Well, Jim did. Jim did it. Obviously, it was Jim.
in the same very vehicle you were driving,
His millions of dollars was given to Jim had control of his millions of dollars, guys.
Chances or probabilities of that happening.
So obviously Jim was stealing money instead.
In this room right now, that ain't gonna happen.
Yes, sir. None of this feels random to me. But I don't
Classic
understand.
Jim.
I know where that knife is.
Classic Jim.
Now, let's move on. The knife has nothing to do with anything. The day that you bought the knife and traveled down the road, where did you go?
I left. I stopped for gas. I stopped at Home Depot.
Bought the knife I killed her
I believe
with.
I stopped and talked to Jim.
Yup, of course.
With Mindy's body in the car.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
And then I drove out there.
No, sir.
Out where?
I don't know.
Yeah, I drove out.
I believe I had an address to a church.
I drove out to a place that I cannot tell you where it was. I have no recollection of that place, nor any way to tell you what it was, nor any evidence besides the where I went, which was where I dumped her body. But that wasn't me. That was my car, not me. I swapped cars with somebody who is associated with Jim, but also I can't tell you who it was because I don't know who it was, and also I can't remember the location I went to swap cars. Also, my car exploded.
Church, and then I had a GPS location after that.
The first story was you had GPS coordinates.
Yeah, yes.
You mentioned nothing of arrest.
You guys are you guys following?
Yeah.
You guys following along?
But I've been trying to think about this. I believe
It all makes
it was
sense.
Church, like not to pull in, but I believe it was like a waypoint.
What did they say? So Mindy didn't tell you this?
I forget. Sorry, I forget exactly.
So you forget back to the same story. It's easier to remember. Tom Sawyer says this.
It all comes back to Jim.
While we're talking here today, so many more lies keep coming up.
No, sir. Sir, I've done weird stuff for years.
So back to your travels of the day that you bought the knife.
Yes.
I've done weird stuff for years, guys.
I stopped for gas. I stopped at Home Depot.
Uh-huh.
I believe that I stopped and spoke to Jim.
Genius.
And then I drove to the location I was supposed to go to.
Okay. Well, what did you do there?
Super didn't bury my wife.
Stopped. A gentleman came out of the house.
Gentlemen, I can't describe to you,
The 40
nor
minutes that
get
you were
evidence
there,
of.
there's no house at that 40 minutes that you stopped at. So we can cut the house out if you'd like. So you don't have to remember a house because there was no house.
I stopped at a house.
Okay. How long did you stay?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
He talked to me.
A house that I cannot tell you.
About something he was doing. He had some.
I did not remember the house.
Okay, so what else did you do?
Obviously.
I asked if I could go to the bathroom. I peed behind a tree. He directed me.
You're
over there.
you're crazy, bro. Peed behind a tree. Very cool.
The things from the back of the car, and I don't know.
Go over the things left. You said you were.
This man is tripping balls. No, he's not. He's just a fucking terrible liar.
Yeah, he said he would take care of them.
Okay. How close to the house?
30, 40 feet.
He's not tripping on anything besides his own words because he's caught in the stupidest fucking lie I've ever heard.
But when you took the containers out, there is no house.
There's a reason why that keeps sticking in your head. You said Pennsylvania, you took them out, you fall asleep, so I set them in the dirt. I set them in the dirt. The gray and black container. And it wasn't your personal property that was in those containers, it was Mindy.
No, sir. I packed those containers
No,
myself.
sir.
So laptop.
You did pack them yourself. If your wife's dismembered body,
Sir.
Sir.
That's not true.
that is true. And you had it in your car when you drove down that dirt road.
Sir, that's not true.
Sir, that's not true.
30 or 40 feet off the roadway.
Sir, that is not true.
That is
Sir.
absolutely true, Nick.
Exactly what the record showed.
Can we get a sir count?
Sir, that's not what happened.
Sir.
I don't know what you know about the country and dirt roads and the property that you ever owned, that you've ever been to that type of property before. But if you happen to hit the security cameras on the entrance to 25,000
Sir, that's not
Very hard
true.
property.
Sir.
Your phone and your vehicle's phone.
Sir, no,
everything,
that's not, sir.
every
That's
stop
not
is
true,
recorded.
sir.
Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah.
your 40 minutes that you're there,
Yeah.
you're at the
Yes,
exact same
sir.
spot
Yeah.
where your wife's torso was found.
Sir. Yeah.
The other stop where you dug
Yeah. Yeah.
with the shovel.
Yes,
Hit
sir.
roots and hit roots.
Yeah.
That's recorded
Sir.
on the very same information.
Yeah.
The next spot
Yes,
that
sir.
you stopped and buried her
No,
skull
sir.
is covered. in the exact same cover. Even the next spot of the layer is covered. So the stops are, I mean, it's like watching it on TV. It's not, there's no issues here. It's very clear.
So
The big question
that
is,
happened.
big question, it's even the pictures. There's pictures of them going by on a property. You may have seen the log truck ahead of you. There's a big truck hauling wood. Guys that spotted you down there. The big question is why. It's no longer if.
Sir,
the big question.
hurt Mindy.
The big question is why.
Sir, hurt Mindy.
You
Sir,
never
I
carried her
wouldn't
to the
do it.
doctor.
Sir,
You
I
never
would
went to
never
the
do
doctor. You never went to the doctor.
The doctor didn't come by your house to do those checks.
Yes.
You came directly from that house to that location. It's very clear.
There's the doctor that went to his house. That's his story.
From
That
your
a
house
doctor,
to Home Depot.
that a doctor went to their house to check on Mindy for her pregnancy.
multiple scenes, I guess we would say. Those stops are recorded, captured by your car. They're actually corroborated by your cell phone.
Yep. Uh-huh.
But you say it's turned off.
Yep, super
but
turned off.
apparently your particular phone still records and still sends out pings
Yes.
or messages that overlap with that.
Yes.
So the big question is,
Almost like your phone's the biggest
were
snitch
you
that
asked to
exists.
go to a location and retrieve Mindy's body? Or did you kill her and
Yes, sir.
transport her? Or did something happen in that house that you just can't talk about and then you dealt with it from there? Because it clearly it started at that house. Then it went on.
Sir, no, none of this happened.
Okay. We know it happened. It's clearly that happened. So you're saying that the cell record's wrong, the picture's wrong from the security cameras, everybody's wrong with this whole picture. Your purchase of walk-in from Home Depot, that purchase is wrong.
No, sir.
Your travels that day, that's all. And just so happens coincidentally, she's found at the location you were at.
Your wife.
Your wife,
how old is that?
Sir, it doesn't feel coincidental to me, but I never hurt Mindy. I never saw Mindy after she passed away.
Bruh.
And you're going to stick with the last time you saw her
Was Saturday
okay. Where?
at the house.
At the house. So how long did she stay in the house before she was gone?
I don't know, sir.
Are you telling me like you came home and found her dead, or what's the story?
No, sir. I'm saying I came home when she
No,
was done.
sir, I don't know. I don't know, sir.
Telling me things to do, things we needed.
I've been doing this 28 years. I don't watch a lot of them, but a lot of people watch TV shows and stories. Read a lot of books.
Oh,
that have these kinds of
sir.
stories in them. You have characters that you envisioned and made in your stories.
I've got no
And
idea.
some of your stories, but none of your stories before a jury in Georgia are going to go. I want you to understand that up front. It's a very clear picture. Even though it puzzled, you burned some of the pieces. You shifted and manipulated some of the pieces. You constantly lied to many people in your life. And have continued those lies.
Sir.
That's not going to continue to go.
Oh,
You understand that, right?
sir.
The big question is why.
Sir, anything I ever lied about, I was told to lie about.
Okay.
Sir.
So
It was that
right now,
cretin
you said you
gem.
would say it because I was told to lie.
It was that
Sir,
piece
I
of
never
shit
told
If Jim told
gem.
you to say that, you would say that?
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
So my
sir.
point is, everything you do, if Jim told you to jump off a cliff, you were going to go jump off a cliff.
Yes, sir. For years we did exactly what Jim told us to do.
So you
he
were-
wanted full access to our lives. He said he was keeping us safe.
Did Jim tell you to burn your car?
But sir,
Well, the burns that you got that you described to the insurance adjuster for your medical records,
Yes.
you described burns going up into your nose and your face. It sounds like a flash burn from fumes. Sounds like a flash burn from fumes from an accelerant.
Yes, sir. I opened the car door, and that's when the flames got mine.
Yep.
But what was important in
From the car exploding, by the
thought
way.
the phone was in there.
What else was in there?
I don't know. I had some random stuff in there.
Was there a check in there?
Yes, there was a check in there.
What was the check for?
The check was for a house.
For a house?
Yes.
Was you in Sam?
Yes.
What did you tell Sam happened with that check?
It burned up.
And what was the insurance company going to do about that?
The house he was going to buy, the $9,000 check he was going to buy his new house with for him and his new wife exploded in the car. By the way, that's what he's talking about. Obviously.
I don't think the insurance company had anything to do with the check.
Was it a sizable check?
Yes, sir.
How much?
$860,000.
Just gone.
Yes, sir.
Almost $1 million check gone.
Yes, sir.
And you couldn't get a replacement.
Which you can easily get replaced, by the way. Yeah, like you can very easily get that replaced. You just tell the bank that, hey, my fucking car exploded with that check in there. Now they might not be too happy with you, but like obviously that check will not clear anytime soon. So like eventually they'll be like, okay, maybe he was right. Maybe his car did fucking explode with his check in there. But he's a fucking liar, so
Yeah,
a terrible
I
one at
spoke to
that.
Jim afterwards, and he said he would get a replacement, but it would take a while.
Interesting.
What were you doing out on that road?
Classic
that day?
Jim. Jim is so nice,
I
bro.
had gone to pick up the check. He said he would have somebody meet me out there. I had come up to Liz. He told me to meet in Liz. I had got flowers.
Sir.
I didn't pick them up that day. I got water.
Oh, sir.
But you also said something else up in Pennsylvania about that day when you stopped the car. You said you were on a long, straight stretch of road out of the curvy hilliness you've been driving on where you can see in both ways. Why do you think that's important in your life? Is it so you can see other cars if they can? While you're doing what you're doing?
No, sir.
I think you're living a web of lies. One of your close friends described you best, said you talk in parallel realities. It's like the story you've sold them, it blends in the truths of what's going on in your life with what you want it to be. That's what you're doing here.
No, sir.
No, sir.
You bought a knife for window screening that you were fixing to leave this Airbnb.
Yeah.
So you buy this knife, you go back to the house where Mindy's at, then you
No, sir.
go out here with these two totes that are packed with stuff and put them in a place where her body's found.
Yes, obviously.
No, sir. I left them with the man.
You did not leave them with the man.
Yes, I did.
You did not leave them with the man. Your car is traveling out there. He's already told you. We put you and your cellular device in your vehicle out there in these places where your wife's body is found.
No.
Listen to her.
No,
With the
sir.
knife that you just bought.
No, sir. That night.
The Milwaukee
Came to
knife?
Pennsylvania.
No, sir.
Yes, it did, sir. I told you exactly where to find it. Have you looked there?
Yes, and it's not there.
Get these ads out of
It's a
here.
carbon steel blade.
Bam.
It would be burned up in the car.
No, sir.
Very clear.
Under the thing.
Under the thing.
Under the thing.
And then there's one other place it could be.
Was that knife really irrelevant? Because that knife was only used in the end. It's not, didn't have anything to do with actually the murder or the killing at all. And that knife was after the fact. How would I know that?
I have no
No,
idea,
sir.
I didn't know that.
That comes from
know anything.
Well, I don't fucking know, sir.
28 years ago.
Give me 5 minutes to come up with a better
Your
lie.
story's fine, but your story's not reality. Even to
Damn.
one of the new wife. You know when you apply for a marriage
Damn.
license?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Remember applying for that marriage license?
Yes, sir.
Remember the questions it asked?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What did you say on that marriage license?
I said that I'd been married once. I said that he passed away in 2020.
Okay.
2 things that Jim told me to put down.
So you lied because Jim told you to lie.
Yes, sir.
Is Jim telling you to lie here today?
No, sir. I spoke to Jim.
Minnie's his second wife, by the way, just to make sure you're keeping track.
You're doing a lot of stuff when it comes to specifics. It's quite funny how that works. But those records clearly show where that's at. To the matter, even like when your mom, I mean, what have you told your mom?
My mom, that I was driving. We haven't spoken in.
So you hadn't spoken to her in 6 years.
I had no. We started speaking after I was arrested.
Tee 10 minutes.
You go to this doctor's office, they tell you wife died, you don't ask to see her. You immediately
I did ask to see her.
You don't get to see her.
I don't get
You
to
don't force feed go any further to see her. You just take them at the word. You don't let her names. You don't let her addresses. Don't know how to return there. Whatever. You just leave.
I remember everything about
you
it
go from
except
there.
important details.
Pack. Tell them. Tell her family. Pack up the stuff that you said was already packed and gone. Remember your stuff was packed.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff was packed.
That your important stuff was not.
Yes, sir.
You still had it.
No,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, we had things that we didn't need, like day to day, like clothing.
So then you go to Florida.
Is it possible to get a bottle of water?
You go to Florida, and when you go to Florida to pick up the beer,
Yes, sir.
and then you go from Florida to Montgomery, Alabama,
Yes, sir.
and you cashed a check for $5,000.
No, sir, that was a cash withdrawal.
A cash withdrawal for $5,000.
I think it looks like that.
You cash your check.
Yes.
But you get $5,000 to meet some guy that you don't know
Yes, sir.
on the side of the road in Alabama for Mindy's ashes.
Yes, sir.
Do you know how many local crematories and places there are here by Alabama?
Sir, he had called me and said that my wife's remains were available.
Makes sense.
I forget where he said they were.
I think he's getting away with it,
He
guys.
was talking to Samantha.
Guys, type 1 if he's making it out of this.
Yes, sir.
And talking about your business trips to Missouri, that you're continuing to have a romantic
fucking over.
relationship with Samantha.
Yes, sir.
She's found out wife's dead. You've been telling everybody she's dead since October, but you continue this relationship.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He said his wife was dead way before she actually died. So that's a yep.
As it goes, and as you travel, flee all the way to Missouri.
I'm not fleeing, sir.
Okay. So you change your name. Well, you told me you were fleeing from your father. So you were not fleeing from your father still?
Well, I mean, I was trying to. I thought that the name change was the culmination of years of work to keep us safe. We had been among our friends and family. We've been using that name for 2 years.
Then you get a marriage license and you get married. And back up a little bit before that, when you start getting pressured to move into a house and get away from Airbnbs, the car mysteriously burns with all your money in it. So you won't be able to close on a house permanently. So was it time to look for a new wife?
No, sir.
So what was your plan from there?
My plan from there was I was expecting more money from Jim, and allow me to move on and live.
When was your last contact with Jim?
So cool of Jim.
My last contact with Jim, I don't know, it was probably around the time that the marriage license was, we applied for it, or shortly thereafter.
Because he had to tell you what to put on there, so you would know what to lie to be.
Yes.
Okay.
He told me that there were things I had to lie about to keep myself safe.
Of course.
Did you lie and keep your things safe from your dad?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're worried about your dad, and he's this bad guy that you're terrified of, that you've gone through all this hiding all these years, living off everybody else's finances, and being a hermit basically,
Super real Jim.
then when you get locked up for this, you reach out to them.
I reached out. I had been in for 5 days. I couldn't contact anyone, and I reached out to Alice.
You know, your story is just so unbelievable. Everything you say and has continued to say has been a lie. Your life's a lie. The evidence shows.
So I believe I lied to
you continue to lie. By your own admission, you have continued to lie. Multiple times. You say it's lying on behalf of Jim.
Yes, sir.
But then now you're saying too, it's clearly you're lying about that day.
About which day?
The day of the 29th, when your cell phone records you going where your wife's body's found, or torso's found, and where the pieces of her body are found at other locations, and how that tracking in that area shows you being there, how cameras show you being there, and you're saying, oh no, I wasn't there. Is that what you're saying?
This guy votes? Well, not anymore.
I don't know what location.
Spoiler alert.
I know I was in a more rural area.
It's where you placed the body parts of your wife at.
No, sir.
So are you saying that's the same day you dropped the tubs off?
I don't know. I think is that the same day as Home Depot?
I'm asking you a question. Yeah, the same day as Home Depot.
Yes, I think that was the same
day as you dropped the tubs off.
Yes, sir.
So you knew where you were moving at that time, but you're going to get a knife to prepare the mosquito things, knowing you're fixing to leave the Airbnb.
Yes, sir. We wanted to leave it in the best condition that we could.
Was that how you replaced the rug? Somebody bought a new rug?
No, we bought the new rug because Rusty was sick on it.
But sir, you don't understand. My wife died. I didn't question it. Didn't get her body. Didn't get her death certificate. My car exploded. And like 8 more lies that make no sense.
Back to that day. You traveled that day.
Yes,
you
sir.
don't know where you traveled.
Yes, sir.
So the question is, you don't know or you do know where you traveled?
I don't know where I traveled.
Okay. So you're saying that those records are the truth?
Which records?
The records from your car. The records from the cameras you saw. The records from your own cell phone that overlap with each other. Your records from swiping your car.
Yes, I don't know all the records, sir. But I know my car. I know that for sure.
Okay.
I don't have a good life for that yet, sir.
Really close proximity to that, like within a day or so, going to a car wash?
I don't, sir, but I may have.
Okay. Did you wash your car frequently?
Not super frequently, sir.
Yeah.
When I know so.
Oh yeah, his car happened to be washed the same day she died, by the way. Or she got dumped out or whatever. Just, you know, it was a car wash. It was a car wash day, guys. It was I just washed my car on the day, just happened to wash my car that day.
Like never until then? This was the first time you had washed your car?
I don't know, sir. I haven't had the car for very long.
What I'm saying is you
I don't know,
went through
sir.
an automatic car wash but one time?
No, sir. I
don't know, sir.
You just didn't swipe it for this particular car until that day?
Yeah, I may have paid cash, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so other times you paid with cash.
I honestly never thought that much about how I pay for anything.
Most of the time you swipe.
I think so, yeah. I would say most of the time.
Except for one occasion where you met this dude on the side of the road in Montgomery, Alabama, and you had to get $5,000.
Yeah, I didn't have checks for that account.
So you just randomly, at that point, meet with him, don't know who he is, where he was, where he's from.
No, he contacted me and said that he had made these remains. I was really upset.
Do you know how elaborately crazy that is? Just to meet somebody on the side of the road with remains?
Yes, sir. I was really upset about it.
That's never been heard of before.
I was upset about that. I was upset about the fact that she had been cremated. I was told she had been cremated.
We know you were upset. We know you were upset. We found her body in the condition we found it in. We know you were mad.
Sir, I never hurt my wife.
Sure.
I've never put a hand on a woman. I did not hurt anybody.
But you lie. And you lie a lot about a lot of things. And have continuously lied.
Sir.
I've been told to lie in certain situations to keep us safe.
You've been an attorney before in your previous occupation with the Navy. For how long?
I was
Yeah, the best part about this is literally he was a lawyer.
an attorney in the Navy for roughly 10 years.
So you can realize you've prosecuted cases where soldiers have murdered their wives.
No, sir.
You never prosecuted anybody that?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you prosecuted anybody that murdered someone?
No, sir.
Okay. So never a murder prosecution?
No, sir.
But you have cases that show, and you understand the preponderance of evidence and proof beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes.
Okay. We've gone from preponderance of evidence to proof beyond reasonable doubt. Okay. You know where we're at with that point. Help me support that story. Help me show that you didn't do it.
Sir, I'm trying to tell you everything I remember about this.
See, that's the problem I've got, Nick, because the 2 hours that we had in Lancaster, everything you told me I proved to be a lie. There's nothing truthful about that. You've continued to lie to friends, family members, people that you trusted, people that really went outward to help you. How was it? Really forceful with you that day? I didn't do anything that day that let you tell me the story.
Yes, sir.
I went back and verified that your story, your entire story is a lie. So help me to this point to go and explain that you can continuously lie, but you want me to believe you did kill your wife. You've lied to me. You've lied to Cameron. You've lied to your family. You've lied to other people.
You lied to Samantha.
Reached back out to an old former employer of me and lied to him. Why would you do that?
Sir, I didn't lie to him. I mean,
are you saying you didn't lie to me? Let's just start this way.
So there are things that I think were not true. All I've done is sit in a cell and think about this.
Okay.
I don't believe a lot of what Jim told us for years.
Yeah, I'm not asking what Jim told you. That has nothing. I'm asking what you did and where you remember. And there's things you say and you don't remember that I clearly know you remember. Like if you went to this doctor's office in a strip mall in Savannah where you were told your wife had died, you would really remember that. There would be no doubt. The other thing is, if that happened and you were not allowed to see your wife and found out she was cremated later, you don't think as an attorney that every attorney hearing this would file suit against that doctor?
Yes, sir. I thought she died of natural causes.
Bruh.
That's what I was.
They made mistakes, is what you're telling me. They made mistakes.
Yeah, well, you know.
Someone on the side of the road. Every portion of your life and everything that's coming down right now to Mindy ends up being untrue. But you want me to believe that portion to be true. You lied about going to the doctor's office.
No, sir.
Okay. You lied about going to the doctor's office. As you continue. You lied about picking up her remains on the side of the road.
No, sir.
You've lied about where your kid went that day.
No, sir.
And you lied about what haven't you lied about?
You lied about your father.
Sir, I don't believe.
How much money did you take from him in the very beginning? How much money did you get away with your father?
I had borrowed some money from him.
Yes,
Well, that's not the question. It's how much?
I don't know. I don't know exactly.
About $60,000?
Let's watch a follow-up about the state prosecutor going after him in the court.
You weren't trying to convince her to trust you?
No, ma'am.
Why make that up?
That was something we were regularly told to do. Say that we would be in different places, and then if there was a concern, it would be somewhere that we weren't.
So Jim told you what to say in each of your text messages to Samantha?
Not in each, but it was something he would generally say, tell people that you're going to be traveling for the next 2 weeks. And then if there was a concern, it would be somewhere else.
That's the same guy, yeah.
After you found out that Mindy had passed, You testified to this jury you never got a single document of any sort from the doctors, correct?
That is correct.
You just told this jury that you were a JAG officer, correct? For 10 years.
I was.
You checked every detail, right?
Yes.
Verified everything, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't get a single document at any point in any of the time after her death?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Death certificates, 1.68. They're registered with the state of Georgia. You're aware of that, right?
I am.
You never got a single copy of a document from a courthouse?
No, ma'am. I asked about it once and I should have followed up, but I did not.
You yourself as an attorney never got a single document?
No, ma'am. I didn't have any reason to have a document, and so I failed to follow up on it.
You were on trial for murder, correct?
Ma'am, I was not.
In anticipation of today, your
25
testimony, you knew you were on trial for murder, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't bring a single court document with you.
Well, ma'am, I believe the testimony is fairly clear that I was lied to about Mindy's death and that I did not have a document because there were no documents.
You worked for APIS Security, correct?
I believe so, ma'am.
No W-2, right?
At some point I saw a W-2, but...
But you didn't bring one?
No, ma'am. I believe there was one in Discovery, but I don't recall.
You do? You believe there was one in Discovery?
I believe so, ma'am.
Can you tell us what document that was?
I can't recall. I believe it was a tax document.
Was there a W-4?
I don't recall. I'm not sure what a W-4 is, ma'am.
An I-9?
No, ma'am.
No tax documents?
No. I-9s are for immigrations, proving that you're a citizen, so...
What about tax records? You got paid, right?
It was paid into a trust, ma'am.
So you have zero records reflecting being paid by APIS Security, correct?
Well, I have the records that you provided to me during Discovery, but...
1.84. You provided Samantha with an employment verification, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You indicated you worked for them February 12th, 2018 to present. That was January 12th of 2023, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You never got a single paycheck?
Not paid to me, no.
So for 5 years, you worked for a company and got zero money handed to you?
Handed to me? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, dude. Fuck yeah. As one does.
You opened a bank account, correct?
I've opened... Can you be more specific, ma'am?
You opened Renaissance Bank account, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That was the account we saw the records for, ending in 141, right?
I don't know the number, but I believe so.
You signed it, correct?
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
You went into the bank, right?
No, ma'am.
So that's not your physical signature on there?
It is my physical signature. I believe it was scanned and emailed.
It's your testimony you opened a bank account without going into the bank?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Right. As one does. Obviously.
You provided Samantha with a driver's license, right?
Oh, damn.
with the photograph
Sip on
of one,
that.
yes.
Tropical Smoothie King.
1.86. This is the license you sent her, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm showing the jury 1.111, which is the same photograph, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're aware that there are no records in the state of Georgia reflecting a change of name to Stark.
I'm aware of that now, ma'am.
Oh, yeah,
You would've had to change your
he changed his last name at some point. I
driver's
forgot to
license,
mention
right,
that.
sir?
Yes, I assume so.
Classic Jim messing with him again, dude. That fiend Jim.
Delaware. This was issued January 13th, 2023, 1.112.
It was classic Jim, dude.
That's you, right?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Is that a current picture of you?
That was current at the time, ma'am.
Current at the time, man.
Publishing to the jury. And it's your testimony that you got one under the name Casotis because of a glitch at the DMV?
It wasn't a glitch, ma'am.
Well, you testified that the Social Security Administration told you it would update in 24 hours your name change, right?
They said likely 24 hours, so there was a chance it would be sooner.
So sooner still, right?
I hoped it would be sooner. That's why I went back to the DMV that afternoon.
Right, but in 1.106, you went on January 4th to change your name, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's your testimony that from January 4th of 2023...
He's so fucking calm, it's scary because he's a fucking idiot. And he's like convinced in his own lie because he's such an asshole that he thinks that he's a fucking genius. So he's like confident about his lies being good enough to trick everybody and nobody fucking buys it. Period. The jury deliberates, guys. This case got deliberated for not even an hour, apparently. They didn't even deliberate for an hour before they guilty verdict this guy. Because he's that bad at lying.
9 days later, it still hasn't
That's
updated?
impressively bad.
No, ma'am. So there's a difference between the court document, which you go to court to get, and then the Social Security office, which you have to go in there and bring a copy of the court document to start that updating process.
Right, but you said you went the same day as you went to the Missouri...
No, ma'am. I said I went to the Social Security office in Delaware after I returned to the Delaware area from St. Louis.
Shut up.
You submitted driver's licenses for Delaware, Pennsylvania, and a name change in Missouri, all within a week, approximately,
I was trying to update my driver's license, yes.
in 3 different states.
No, ma'am. I had gotten the name change in Missouri, which had been our plan from the beginning. I was splitting my time between Delaware and Pennsylvania at the time, and I had gotten one license in Delaware that was not the correct name. I was going to be spending the next part of the next week in Pennsylvania, so the next business day, it was a holiday weekend. It was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I went on that Tuesday into a DMV in Pennsylvania, and I got a license with what is now my legal name.
You remember it was a Tuesday, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But you don't know your wife's doctor's name.
I was never given her doctor's name.
You didn't ask?
Ma'am, she wanted...
I asked you a question, sir.
No.
Did you ask?
I did not ask.
She was 8 months pregnant, you said, correct?
Correct.
You never visited her at the hospital.
Yeah, I was told not to.
Of course.
And you listened?
Yes, ma'am.
First child,
Fuck
right?
that.
Yes, ma'am.
Desperately wanted kids.
That.
I wouldn't say desperately wanted kids, but I wanted kids.
You'd been trying since Heather, right?
Yes. Well,
How many
on
years
and
was
off.
that?
You know, Mindy and I didn't start trying to have kids.
Heather was his
immediately,
first
but-
wife.
Well, you testified there was a miscarriage in the middle, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That miscarriage was in, July of 2021.
So for years,
Also no
you
proof
had
that
been
happened.
trying to get pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
And your wife was finally 8 months pregnant and terribly ill, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I believe
And-
so.
And you never went to see her.
No, ma'am. I was talking to her and checking on her, but I did not physically go there because I did not think it was safe to.
Well, just in your testimony earlier, you said texting, not talking.
Yes, ma'am. I use them interchangeably. I'll be more clear.
You never spoke to her.
No,
is
ma'am.
what you're
I tried
getting.
to multiple times, but we couldn't get a good enough signal to have a conversation.
Like I said,
And
guys,
when you couldn't
this
get
guy's a
her,
genius.
You didn't go see her.
No, ma'am.
You're
Yes,
an attorney
dude.
at the time of all of this, correct?
God, he's so fucking
I don't
smart.
believe I was at that time. No, ma'am.
I mean, you don't forget how to be a lawyer, do you?
No, ma'am. I hope not.
Right? So
I
when
think
you
you
filled
do.
out this paperwork for the Missouri
Somebody clearly
change of
does.
name, you indicated that you did not owe anybody any judgments,
That was my understanding. Yes, ma'am.
that there were no cases requesting money pending against you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yet you stood in a court of law in front of a judge who told you when to be back to settle what was owed to Miss Thomas, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't go.
I didn't go because I believed that was already settled.
You're an attorney at the time, right?
Yes, ma'am. At that time, I absolutely was.
You know if you don't show up to court, what happens?
They would, if I still had a hearing there, if I had not paid that money, I would have been held in contempt.
You called Heather to confirm she got paid?
I did not, ma'am. And nor did she call me, nor did she come to the house that we had shared that I continued living in for 9 months afterwards.
You have been exchanging a series of emails back and forth with Heather for days leading up to that court hearing, correct?
I don't believe I had, no, ma'am.
It's your testimony you didn't.
No, ma'am.
Definitely not evidence of such.
Miss Thomas was following you
super no evidence
to the point that you thought that she was actually potentially one of the people causing you trouble.
Yes, ma'am.
But you think she just evaporated?
Because I believed she had gotten the money that she wanted.
Then tell us why she would be a danger to you.
At that point, I no longer believed that she was a danger to me.
When was that?
That was shortly around the time that I believe the payment had been made to her, and she stopped contacting me altogether. Never came by the house, never called my phone.
We're making it out of federal prison with this one, boys.
McIntyre was looking into it for you.
He was, and he said that he had determined that Heather was not involved and that he had wired the funds.
Let's talk about your marriage license. The application, 1.92.
Absolutely.
You listed people that are not your parents, correct?
At the time, I believed them to be my parents.
They're sitting in this courtroom now,
Damn.
right?
Yes, my parents are.
You don't disbelieve that Linda and Wayne Casotis are your parents?
Not anymore, no ma'am.
And with all due respect to your father sitting here, that's the man you moved 100+ times because you were afraid of?
I wouldn't say 100+ times, but yes, ma'am. We moved probably 50 times because I was terrified.
Well, the 2 times that you just talked in direct testimony, you said 15 to 25 times twice, and then moved countless other times, correct?
I wouldn't say countless other times, ma'am.
So true.
Well, your recollection was every time you moved a week, right? You could tell this jury when you were in each different place, correct?
Yeah. I have because we move so often, it's actually pretty easy for me mentally to remember where we were when, because oftentimes we were only in a place for 2 days. So if you remember the 4th of July happened while you were in that house, you know when you were there.
But you don't remember your wife's doctor.
No, ma'am.
Let's just be clear, 2.32. This is Mindy.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Absolutely,
yeah.
man.
Like the fuck? What are we doing here, man?
During your interview with law enforcement, you didn't even ask what happened to her.
I did ask, ma'am. During the first interview, I asked what happened to Mindy, and Mr. Sands told me that at this time he did not believe that I presume you, the district attorney, wanted to make that information public.
You didn't ask about your baby either.
Nope.
Did you?
No, ma'am.
Not once. In 2 hours and 10 minutes, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And not once in almost 2 hours in Liberty County, correct?
Well, ma'am, in Liberty County, as you all saw, was the time I was told that Mindy had not been pregnant when she died.
Until they told you, you didn't ask about the baby either, right?
No, ma'am.
Real.
You told your in-laws that your wife died December 1st of 2022, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Immediately after I was told, I went back to the house and told them.
And then the next day you went and got your car washed? Or was that the same day? I'm showing 1.110.
I don't recall what day that was, ma'am.
Well,
No
that is
reason.
your car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So after you found out your wife was dead,
Got a
you
car
went
wash.
to the car wash. Is that right?
Apparently, ma'am.
Well, that is your bank record, right?
As one does.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, at some point I went and got my car washed. I don't recall getting my car washed, but
As one does.
I may have. It appears I did.
And you went and picked up some beer, right?
Yes, ma'am. I was drinking probably a scary amount at this point.
During your direct examination, I didn't hear any reference to 2.44 or 2.43, the rug, correct?
Correct, ma'am.
2.43 the
You don't
rug
dispute
sounds like a
that
fucking
This
radio.
rug is the one you left the house with.
2.43, the rug.
2.44.
No, ma'am. That looks right.
And 2.43 is what was there when you got there?
I believe so, ma'am.
And you replaced these because you said Rusty threw up on it?
Yes, he always had kind of
Right, yeah, he got a new rug because his dog threw up on it, by the way, guys, obviously.
a
He replaced an Airbnb's rug and didn't report it. He just happened to get a new rug because his dog barfed on it.
that was sensitive to eating too much.
Obviously.
And he was known to beg for food. So
Very obviously,
so sometimes
chat.
Betsy and Frank would overeat him and he would get sick.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
clean the rug?
No, ma'am. Mindy had put it in a plastic bag and
Impossible.
stuck it out back because it smelled. And by the time I had time to try to clean it, 2 days had passed and the entire
A whole rug
thing
in a plastic
smelled
bag, by the
absolutely
way.
awful.
Had nothing to do with the blood that was underneath the rug, right?
Oh,
There was no blood underneath the rug.
Well, you saw the photographs here, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it your testimony that law enforcement somehow put Blue Star on the floor of that house?
Ma'am, I have no idea what blood that is or when it was there, and unfortunately, law enforcement never tested that.
Right. And so the blood on the futon that was Mindy's?
Right.
I have no idea how that blood got there, ma'am.
Yeah, it just happened. She just happened to bleed all over her
I didn't spend a
futon.
lot of time in that room, so
You lived in the house, right?
yes, ma'am.
It was also your testimony that initially Jim was an FBI agent, right?
I believed he was for, 2 years?
Oh,
Over 2 years?
classic
And at some
Jim,
point
bro.
you determined that he was not, correct?
Yes.
That
You didn't
scoundrel.
move after you figured that out, right?
Oh my
No,
goodness,
as
what
I
a
testified,
fiend.
we had a big argument about whether or not we should, stop dealing with him altogether.
What a jerk. That guy.
You also
Drat.
didn't move after your father and uncle showed up at your house, right?
That is correct.
You were moving hundreds, or at least my apologies, at
They,
least 50
they showed up. His dad and uncle showed up at his house and whacked him with a baseball bat, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
times,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. Yes, at least 50 times, definitely.
Over 7 years, correct?
Yeah.
How long was it?
I have 5 years? Yeah.
5 years. So over 5 years, you kept moving because that man was your threat.
Yes, ma'am.
And when he showed up at your door with your uncle, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't move.
No, ma'am. I asked to.
So at this point, you actually knew he knew where you were.
Yes, ma'am.
You ran out the back.
After I talked to Jim, yes, I departed via the
Yes,
back of the house.
Classic Jim.
Right. You said you called Jim, didn't you?
Yes, on Signal. But you can make voice calls or I
On
believe even video calls now. through
Signal.
But yet when law
It's an
enforcement
app,
spoke
by the
to you
way.
the first time in Pennsylvania, you said he just showed up,
As one does.
right?
No, ma'am.
Law enforcement specifically asked you, how did Jim know where to find you?
Classic
and you
Jim.
said he just showed up.
Classic Jim
No, ma'am. I
apparating.
said it didn't take him long to get there, which I thought clearly indicated that I had contacted
Classic
him.
apparating Jim.
But apparently there was some confusion on Mr. Sand's part. He then later said that I was clearly asked that twice, and I've listened to that interview about 40 times, and I've never heard it asked even once, clearly.
Clearly.
You've had access to all this material,
Oh, yeah, I got her. Oh, I'm winning.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You knew what the state's case was, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
No documents here with you today.
No, ma'am.
Nothing. Zero things to defend himself,
You
by the way.
indicated at some point that it was very important for you to figure out
God, he's so
who
fucking smart.
of Mindy's friends would need to know, correct?
Absolutely, ma'am.
And you reached out to each of them, correct?
I did.
It's your testimony you had no idea that Mr. Frank and Mrs. Betsy thought you were dead?
No, ma'am, I did not.
So I'm showing you 1.87 and 1.88. Well, take a look at them. You've seen them before,
This girl's awesome.
right?
Yes, ma'am. I saw them when they were provided in Discovery.
Uh-huh. Right.
Did you see the email address on that?
I do, ma'am. Yes.
That's Apis Limited, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That would be the same address that you claimed was Jim McIntyre, correct?
I
Yes.
believe he had an APIS, but I'm not sure that I did not regularly email with him personally, so
Right.
I believe at some point I saw an APIS Limited address for him as
Yeah.
he was reaching out to Frank and Betsy. But
Yeah, right.
Well, you just told the jury you worked for Apis Limited, right?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so.
You got that employment verification from Marcus Jones at Apis Limited, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you believed you were working for Jim McIntyre, right?
Absolutely, ma'am.
That he was preserving all of your funds in a trust, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you bring the trust documents here?
Nope.
No, ma'am.
In order to start a trust,
Of course not.
Mr. Casotis,
Are
as
you
an attorney,
stupid?
you know that there are actual documents you need to sign, right?
Absolutely, ma'am.
You
I
don't
just,
preserve any
didn't
of
bring
those?
them.
At some point, I lost them. I don't know exactly when.
Okay.
Yes, bro.
But I had them, and I provided them to Miss Thomas
God.
on at least one occasion.
Actually, when you went to court, you didn't provide the court with anything, did you?
I don't believe I was asked to.
That would be a no?
Yes, ma'am. That would be a no.
I don't
But
believe
you
they
told
asked
the court
me
you
to.
had $32 million.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Did you ever ask Jim to show you a copy of the check that he sent to Heather or the wire to pay her off?
Absolutely. I saw bank records showing a wire transaction to her.
And you saved all those?
No, ma'am. I believe I've been pretty clear about that.
Well, Heather was all but, from your description, stalking you for the money, right?
She
Right.
was energetically looking for it. Yes, ma'am.
Energetically.
Okay. So energetically looking for it, you didn't think it was important to hold on to a copy of those?
No, no.
No, ma'am. As I said, I stayed in that house for annher 9 months. The house that Heather and I had shared when
Why
we were
would
married,
we?
And never heard from her. She never stopped by. She never called my phone. I assumed that was over and done with.
At that point, you had moved and changed
Right.
your name
Right.
and your driver's licenses in 2 additional states, correct?
No, ma'am.
No
this
reason.
is years before that.
No reason.
Okay. Now, initially, I believe you told us that you contacted the FBI, and that's when Jim showed up, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And if I recall correctly, what you said was you were very happy because normally you don't get any traction on a case like this.
Yes, ma'am. That was my fear.
But then Jim
Right.
McIntyre, according to your testimony,
Uh-huh.
spent the next 2 years
Yes.
acting as your
Personal security.
basically personal assistant,
Yep.
social media provider,
Yep.
financial advisor, and Microsoft purveyor.
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not sure I would use all of those, but
Doy.
he was somebody that we were dealing with very closely throughout all of this.
Doy.
You thought that an FBI agent just decided to take you on with a case you didn't think that he was actually even going to investigate?
I had been worried that he wouldn't investigate it. I was very happy that it was being taken so seriously.
Of course.
And it's your testimony to this jury that after 10 years in the JAG, you believed he was an FBI agent.
Genius.
Absolutely. And I've dealt with law enforcement, both the state, the local, and federal law enforcement extensively. There was nothing that concerned me at that time.
Very smart. He's running away with the case, chat.
So let me make sure I get this straight. Initially, you thought that the risk, based on your testimony, was because of the Washington Post article.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Then you thought it was Wayne, correct?
No, ma'am. Then we started looking at others. We looked at an ex-boyfriend of Mindy's, Heather, my ex-wife. Then we looked at a former boss of Angela's who had...
The jury will love this one. They took 40 minutes to deliberate, which is like insane.
who had tried to assault Mindy. He was a very kind of rich and powerful man.
That's extremely fast.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And it wasn't until after we had exhausted those leads that he started looking at our immediate families.
So when Jim McIntyre, you determined, did not work for the FBI,
Gasp.
he promptly told you how he knew to come and see you and Mindy, right?
No, ma'am. And that is one of the things I've thought about extensively over the last 27 months as this case has gone on, that as to how he entered our life, I never followed up. And there are frankly a lot of mistakes I've made over the last 7 years of my life that I spend a lot of time thinking about.
He just showed up at your house and said he was the FBI.
I'll say.
Yes, ma'am.
Makes sense to me. Hello, it's me, John FBI. I'm here to help. Oh my God. No way. Yay. Don't worry about it, baby. Okay, yay.
You heard testimony about Cameron Nelson's credit card, the Capital One card, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It's your testimony that all of those charges were being made by Jim McIntyre?
The majority of them, not all of them.
The Uber Eats purchases that came to the house in Savannah, those are done by Jim McIntyre?
We were never in Savannah while we were anything was being charged to Cameron's card.
Right,
Are you
right,
sure?
right.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Okay. And all of those transactions, the Uber car rentals, were those Jim McIntyre too?
Uber.
The Uber car rentals?
Yeah, Uber.
I don't know anything about those, ma'am.
You never took an Uber on a credit card?
I have taken Ubers before. I have never, during this time, I never took an Uber, no.
I've Ubered.
So if the bank records show you taking Ubers and going places,
Oh, I'm gonna Uber.
that wasn't you?
That was not me, correct.
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
You have an Uber app on your phone, correct?
Surely it doesn't have
I
him.
do now, yes.
So it's your testimony you never had an Uber app on your phone in 2022?
In 2022, I did. I'm sorry, I thought we were talking about Miss Nelson's credit card.
Classic, bro.
Are you talking about my bank records or Miss Nelson's? I'm just not clear.
I'm talking about your bank records.
Oh, okay, yes. My bank records, yes. There were times I took an Uber.
Oh, that Uber.
But you told this jury you were afraid to leave the house, right?
Yes, ma'am. Every time I went out, it was scary.
Right.
But you fought through the fear and jumped in an Uber?
Oh, yeah.
If I had things that needed to be done, then yes.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
It was my job to take care of those things.
You didn't call Jim and say, hey, Jim, I need a ride. Get me to this location. You're my security detail?
No.
No, ma'am. Sometimes he would drive me.
You can't
places,
bother
but
Jim.
For regular errands, no.
He's
That was
John
something that I dealt
FBI.
with.
He's got
Either I
stuff
had,
going on.
Mr. Frank Mebane drive me, or I would call an Uber.
Right, because on November 29th,
Unbelievable
you clearly went
she
to
would
Home Depot
suggest
by yourself,
that. Oh.
right?
Yes, ma'am. At that point, I had
No
a
reason.
car, so I was not taking Ubers anywhere.
Definitely didn't go anywhere. Definitely didn't buy a knife that I used to dismember my wife. Yes, right.
And it's your testimony to this jury that you never paid
I'm so
Jim
smart.
McIntyre 1 penny.
I'm
For how many
so
years of service
smart.
I believed that we were both benefiting from this.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you if you paid him.
No, I did not.
So in all of the years that he worked with you, you never paid him.
No, ma'am.
Of course. Of course.
And it was your testimony you met Frank first, or rather, you met Jim first in Virginia, correct?
Yes, Alexandria, Virginia.
And then he followed you to what state next?
We saw him multiple times in Virginia. Then later we saw him in South Carolina and in Georgia.
And then you said you didn't see him much.
Yeah, I believe I only saw him once, maybe twice when I was in Delaware.
Okay.
Right. Guys,
It
I
was
think
your
he's
testimony
cooking.
to law enforcement, or your statement, I should say, to be clear, that Jim McIntyre handled your finances the
Sorry.
entire time.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course.
That included setting up all of your Airbnbs, correct?
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep,
Except the one
definitely.
in Savannah, because you bought that one.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yes, ma'am. And there were two at the very beginning, one in Alexandria and one in Charlottesville that I set up personally.
Well, and don't forget the one in Hilton Head that you got for Frank and Betsy afterwards in your name too, right?
Yeah, that wasn't an Airbnb, but correct. I did set up that rental.
In the name Casotis, right?
Yes, ma'am.
While you were still afraid that people were coming after you, and your wife now was already dead.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
And you're still using your name, Casotis.
Right.
That was my legal name at the time. Yes, ma'am.
Right. Genius. Right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you said when you got the $300,000 from Sony, you didn't pay Cameron, right?
Correct, ma'am.
You didn't pay Heather, right? You thought that was paid,
I thought that was paid, ma'am.
right? At that point, that money was the money you and Mindy were living on, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Jim McIntyre didn't control that money, correct?
No, he did not. He said he was monitoring it and taking actions to prevent it, but he did not control that money.
Right.
So you did have $300,000 to your disposal, at least on June of 2022.
Absolutely. That was a non-negotiable point for us, was that we get to control our own money.
Oh, he's so brave.
Now, you talked about mosquitoes, right?
Absolutely, ma'am.
What?
When you had problems with mosquitoes, that was when you first moved in, right?
It had started when we first moved in, but it
What?
got worse in, I want to say, mid-August.
Can you tell the jury how expensive the Airbnb was?
What are you talking
How
about,
much did that
skeeters?
cost?
I think it cost about $4,500 a month, but I could be mistaken.
Bruh.
You called the owner, right, to get her to fix the mosquito problem.
No, ma'am.
You
Bruh.
decided to fix that yourself?
Yes, ma'am. This was a rule that we had for several years.
God, he's so smart.
At $4,500 a month, you took on handyman jobs.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Right.
It was also your
Right.
testimony that Mr. Frank and Mrs. Betsy left the residence the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And they returned on that Sunday?
Yes, ma'am. That is the best of my recollection, but I'm pretty certain about it.
Well, you testified under oath to that,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So if you weren't sure, you would have told us that,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
There's also your testimony that your wife went into the
She's
hospital on
frying him,
Saturday,
bro.
that weekend, correct?
I believe it was Saturday. There's a slight chance it could have been Friday, but
Yes,
I've thought
ma'am.
about this a lot.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
relatively certain it was Saturday.
Well, you just, again, testified
Well,
under
yes,
oath.
ma'am, I am
Saturday.
talking out of my ass.
You didn't give us an equivocation earlier,
Yes,
did you?
ma'am. No, ma'am, I did not.
And you said it was Saturday,
No, ma'am.
correct? And you said that her parents came back on Sunday,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Bam, lamb.
You never told them what hospital, right?
No,
No.
ma'am. I don't believe they asked either.
Right. I'm sure. Her parents did not ask what hospital she was at and the one she died at. Right. 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 Makes sense. It makes sense, guys. You guys just don't get it. You guys don't get
And then
it.
it was your testimony that you talked to Mindy Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, correct?
I believed I talked to Mindy.
Okay. So that was a yes.
Yes, ma'am. I am uncertain. I think I've been pretty clear that I don't know if it was Mindy or not. It was a message from, Mindy's Signal account.
But you could have called her on the Signal account, right?
As I said, I tried to call her, but she didn't have a good enough signal where she was, so we couldn't hear each other.
But you never talked to her after she went in, so how would you know that?
As I said, I tried to call her, and when we could not verbally talk, we messaged each other
Sorry.
via Signal.
And then you went to pick her up on December 1st, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You heard testimony from Dr. Mondor that on December 1st, she was already dead, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, tragedy.
You have no reason to disbelieve Dr. Mondor's estimation, do you?
I do not, ma'am, no. Which is why I have said I do not think I was talking to Mindy for most of that week.
And when you went to the birthing center and they told you that Mindy had passed, you didn't see Mindy, correct?
Correct,
Nope,
ma'am.
of
I
course
asked
not.
to, and I was told I was not able to at that time.
Right.
You never once referenced the baby during your direct examination when you talked to the doctor.
Well, ma'am, at this point,
Why would you?
I'd learned roughly a little over 2 years ago that there was no baby.
We didn't mention it to law enforcement either when they first approached you.
No, ma'am. I guess I did not.
Right.
I believe we talked about the pregnancy quite a bit, but not
Well,
specifically the baby.
Bruh.
Not on the first interview, Mr. Casotis.
Bruh, I
You
mean,
didn't.
that's the same fucking thing, bud.
Relatively certain we talked quite a bit about how Mindy was pregnant and where I thought she was.
God,
Yes,
he's...
ma'am.
Oh, he's genius.
Yeah, but we were talking about the pregnancy, not the baby that the pregnancy causes. So obviously we were talking about that, not the baby.
Now,
Duh.
when you went to pick up your wife's ashes,
That he super
you
has.
indicated that was in Alabama,
Yes, ma'am. Montgomery, Alabama.
and you gave him $5,000 cash.
Yes, ma'am.
No
course.
paperwork.
Why would
No,
you?
ma'am.
No name.
Why would
Sorry,
you?
no
He
name.
didn't give you his name?
He might have, ma'am. I'm unsure. I don't remember. It was a very brief
Why would you
meeting.
need his name?
You received your wife's ashes on the side of the road, and you didn't get the man's name?
No, ma'am. I was pretty angry at him.
You're an attorney at the time, right?
Oh, yeah, I was real cross about that one.
No, ma'am.
You weren't a lawyer at that time?
No, ma'am. I was not licensed at that time.
Well, you had put your license on hold, essentially, right?
Yeah, I had given up my Virginia license, but Massachusetts allows you to retire your license, and then if you want to turn it back on later, you just have to pay as if you were an active lawyer for all the years in between. So I am still, to this day, a retired attorney in Massachusetts.
But you didn't forget how to be a lawyer, is my point.
No, ma'am.
Okay. And receiving your wife's ashes on the side of the road in Alabama for $5,000 cash, you didn't think you needed any documents as an attorney?
No, ma'am. I was pretty angry about the entire exchange.
That was a no, correct?
Correct, ma'am.
Pretty angry about the exchange.
And I just want to
Right.
make sure I understand. Your car burst into flames in the condition we saw it in this courtroom on
Yes,
your way
bro.
to purchase a house.
Yes, ma'am.
And you never
Right.
bought the house.
No, ma'am.
When,
That's a real
as
estate
I'm about to buy a
transaction,
house,
That is a
explosion.
real estate transaction. Yes, ma'am.
Classic.
Those require written documents, correct?
Absolutely, ma'am.
No
You
documents.
lost $50,000, you said, right?
I did, ma'am.
You have no records of that?
No records.
Ma'am, you have all my banking records. You can see the EMD coming right out of it.
Right. And your testimony is you don't have a record reflecting anything concerning that transaction that day?
Nope, never happened.
Ma'am, you have all of my electronics, and that's how all these documents were. They were e-signed.
You don't understand.
Well,
it exploded.
actually- Withdrawn. You never bought the house, right?
Guys,
Correct,
it
ma'am.
exploded,
Because you had a
guys.
check
Come
for
on.
$860,000.
Cut him some slack,
Yes, ma'am.
guys.
That you said burnt up, right?
Along with parts of me, ma'am.
And when Investigator Frost said to you, what was so important that was in the car that you opened the door? Do you recall that?
It was my phone, ma'am.
Not the check for $860,000.
No, ma'am. In that moment, all I was trying to do was call for help.
I was trying to tweet, bruh.
You guys aren't gonna believe this shit.
I absolutely cared about a check for $860,000. At that moment, I was trying to call for help. I did not realize that my car was about to burst into flames.
Detective Frost had to tell you about the check, didn't he?
No, ma'am. I remembered the check. I thought we were talking about something else.
It's the longest 40 minutes of my life, bro. This guy looks...
I just want to make sure I
Done.
confirm something. The police report against your father
Sip on that smoothie,
for the name
bruh.
change in Missouri,
Yes, ma'am.
that was September 30th of 2022, the incident, correct?
I believe so, ma'am. Yes.
Incident.
When you are a victim of domestic violence, as alleged, that allows you to seal the name change, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
If
Yup.
you had not had a police report reflecting the need to seal it being domestic violence, you couldn't have gotten it sealed, right?
Well, ma'am, I thought there were many other reports at this time, but yes, I did rely on that one when I got it sealed. Yes, ma'am.
Goodness gracious. What a guy of all time. Chat, you will be shocked to find out that he is found guilty on all charges. It took them a very, very short amount of time to deliberate his guilt. I know. It's devastating. Another innocent man thrown in jail because Jim McIntyre is just a piece of shit. Him and his dastardly ways of taking people's money and killing their wives, dude, and exploding their cars. I mean, just someone's got to stop him. Jim's a menace. Jim is a menace, dude. Anyway. Anyway. Just ridiculous, dude. Did they catch Jim? No, he's in the wind, bro. That bastard. An innocent man's behind bars. F in the chat. All right, let's watch something else. We're going to watch a video by Evan Endinger called "The Gas Station Drug Nearly Ruined My Life." No idea what this is about. I want to find out. I'm pretty sure I have an idea of what this is about. This was a thing on TikTok for a while, and I'm curious. And it's probably a good thing to have some of you know about this and know.
This right here is a 2-ounce, 59-milliliter bottle of Feel Free. I just purchased for a little over $11 US from this gas station behind me in Nashville, Tennessee. The label on the bottle claims that it is a plant-based herbal supplement. It's meant to give you focus, energy, and a mood lift. That sounds quite nice, but that's not the full story, is it? What exactly is in this bottle? Let me show you something. This here is a time lock safe. You put something inside, set a timer, and you can't get the item back out until the timer runs out. It's a tool people use to break addictions and control their cravings. Why the tape? Yeah, it didn't quite work out for me. Turns out I couldn't wait 24 hours to get what was inside out, and instead watched any tutorial I could to safely open the box without breaking it. I failed. In more ways than one. What could have made me so desperate that I'd break my own safe? That thing did cost me 50 quid. Exactly what's inside this drink.
Quid?
I absolutely wish I knew sooner how Kratom was going to impact my life.
We're only concerned about the safety of a popular supplement known as Kratom.
Famous Kratom. The FDA recently published an advisory about the dangers of using Kratom.
Things that he sells in his shop over here in Thailand.
I could go buy this at a convenience store.
I got Feel Free. Try it out, man.
At smoke shops, convenience stores, and gas stations, Kratom is derived from a plant from Southeast Asia.
Though it's difficult to admit, I was addicted to this drug, Kratom, for over 5 years. And it wasn't that bad at first. In fact, I would have been the first to tell you I was using it responsibly. I could never get addicted, no. In fact, there were many positives that I'd found in the beginning that I will talk about later in this video. But then, oh, yeah. Then it took complete control of my life. From the constant anxiety of not having enough of it, to the nausea and blurry spotted vision from having too much of it, Kratom slowly consumed me until I was only ever in one of two states, either on Kratom or wishing I was. My name is Evan Ettinger, and as of the recording of this video, I've officially reached my first full year of complete sobriety from this drug. It was actually yesterday, and no, it wasn't easy. Today I'm going to be telling you what exactly is in this bottle, how it works, how it can act as a lifeline and a trap, and finally, how I got out. The main ingredient inside this bottle is kratom, sometimes pronounced kratom. Kratom is a tropical tree native to Southeast Asia whose leaves have long been used for their mind-altering effects. For centuries, people living in Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia have chewed the leaves or brewed them into a tea for the stimulant and medicinal benefits. In smaller doses, kratom was traditionally used by laborers and farmers for its mild stimulant effect, similar to how coffee is used in the West. In fact, that's one of the main angles that made it feel so acceptable to me. There's nothing wrong with coffee, right? It's kind of like an Eastern version of coffee. And if you think about it, coffee and kratom actually share the same plant family, so...
Yeah, this was like a thing on TikTok for a while. Like, it was being reported. At least, I'm sure people were trying to sell it. Might still be.
What's so different? Yeah, the more you use it, the more you'll cling to any excuse you can to keep using it. In higher doses, though, interestingly enough, kratom isn't as much of a stimulant as a sedative, where if you take larger amounts of kratom, instead of giving you a lot of energy, it actually makes you feel more lethargic, with pain-killing benefits similar to that of some prescription opioids like codeine and morphine, which there very much is a reason for.
I see.
The thing is, no one plans on getting addicted. But even with your best intentions, it's a losing battle when your vice is actively messing with the processes in your brain and is chemically addictive. I bet it's the case that most of you wish you could spend just a little bit less time on your phones every day, and yet, here you are. You didn't expect to be this addicted to your phone, did you? And scrolling's only messing with your dopamine receptors. Imagine that with little extra opiate receptors thrown in. Let me not give Zuckerberg any more ideas. I was officially diagnosed with ADHD earlier this year. Video coming eventually. But I knew long before my brain wasn't functioning like everyone else's. When you feel broken, or when you feel like you just wish there was an easy way to fix yourself or dig yourself out of a hole, you go looking for solutions. Therapy didn't feel like the appropriate solution because I didn't feel like it was like a problem that therapy could solve, and it's expensive. Wait times with the NHS for ADHD are also catastrophically bad. Plus, that'd be doctors and pills, which at the time felt a lot worse than something more natural. I heard about this new tea powder from Asia that might solve some of my problems, and it's all natural. Why not give that a shot? I heard it's just as addictive as caffeine, and that doesn't sound so bad. I love coffee. What could possibly go wrong?
Me when the matcha's calling me so I can be a pure feminist.
Well, if you talk to anyone who takes kratom regularly, they'll be the first to tell you. Kratom isn't an opiate. No, it just sort of plays with the brain's opiate receptors. Totally different thing. Chemically, kratom, or Nitrogena speciosa, contains a pair of very potent alkaloids.
Yeah, it messes with the same brain receptors as opioids, but it's not an opioid. Nah.
And 7
That's different.
These alkaloids bind to the new opioid receptors in the brain, the same receptors targeted by opioids like morphine and codeine. However, kratom's chemistry is complex. Mitragynine and its metabolites also interact with other receptor systems in the brain.
Oh my god.
Serotonin, dopamine,
this
and
is too smart for me. I'm losing my brain.
That boost in their mood.
That wasn't me.
The other alkaloid found in kratom, 7-OH, is a much bigger problem. 7-OH is reported to be significantly more potent than morphine for the mu opioid receptor. And a lot of these kratom products that are sold at gas stations across the USA are purposely fortified with higher levels of 7-OH so as to immediately hook the user.
Oh no.
So then, why would anyone start taking this stuff in the first place? In the beginning, kratom felt like a miracle drug. All I had to do was take 2 to 3 grams of this foul-tasting powder, mix it in with some orange juice, and I would feel great. The usual roadblocks in my ADHD were gone. The usual issue of having problems starting and stopping certain tasks, they weren't there at all. I felt like I was able to control my usual symptoms of ADHD so well, and it also gave me so much mental clarity. It made me feel good about myself, and the weirdest part about the headspace of kratom is when you take that drug, the feelings you get don't feel like it's because you took the drug. The feelings are, well, this is how I always am, actually. I always feel this great. I just happen to take kratom.
That's called in-person, out-person bias. Psychologically, we attribute our success to ourselves and outward success of others to not themselves. Just like if somebody fucks up, we attribute it to their personal shortcomings, and if we fuck up, there's always a reason. Make sense?
I'm meant to be this way. This is how it is. Kratom has this really interesting side effect of making you take more joy in the details between things, and considering that's one of my favorite parts about life is noticing little differences, it felt dangerously in tune with my brain. But I knew this could be addictive, so I set myself some rules. If you've ever experienced addiction, you know how this story goes. I would never have Kratom 2 days in a row. There always had to be a day in between. And I would make sure to rotate the strains so I didn't develop a tolerance. Red, green, white, all on the alternate days, all every other day. And under no circumstances would I ever even think of taking Kratom more than once a day. You see, I'd seen these sad stories online of these addicts who were taking Kratom every day and they were addicted to the drug, and I'm smarter than them. That could never happen to me. No way. I could have my cake and eat it too. I felt like I'd successfully found a treatment for my ADHD, and I felt like I could keep this up, and finally I could feel whole again. Then I stopped feeling whole. Or at least I think that's what was happening. In fact, now that I think about it, I've always sort of had this body anxiety in my chest. I can't place when it started, but no, I must have always had that, because I feel it now, and I can't remember when it started, so yeah. And actually, it's kind of okay, because Kratom helps remove that. It lifts up the anxiety, and it's all gone, so everything's fine, right? See, the thing about rules is they're only useful until you break them. 2021 was one of the roughest years of my life. I didn't have a permanent place to live for 5 months. I was trying to get on the property ladder, and in the UK, that process is a shambolic mess. All of my stuff was in storage. I was still making weekly videos, and I felt like everyone's watching me fail miserably, as I keep getting told every single week that it's just one more week and then you'll have a house. It's just one more week. It's just one more week. Over and over and over. The rules that I had in place to make sure that I'd feel okay, well, it was a different time. I'm feeling so stressed all the time now. And I'm sure it wouldn't hurt if I just had it instead of just every other day. Maybe every day. I'll still rotate the strains, and that's weird. The boost of joy and energy that I used to get it's not really there anymore. It's not working. I'd make up excuses. Maybe the green sludge just stopped working because the quality's gone bad. The quality within, it's hard to get in this country, and maybe I just can't take it the right way, and maybe I have to try and rotate better, and I'm doing something wrong because it's supposed to make me feel better, and it stopped. And now I feel bad all the time. I don't remember feeling bad all the time before, but I only remember feeling bad now. So at least I got to keep taking this because it's the only thing that seems to have.
This is fascinating that, like, this is from a personal viewpoint, because I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of videos at this point about this thing in particular, but it's fascinating to hear this from his perspective. Just because, once again, that doesn't happen very often. You don't really you don't see these sorts of things, and what you do, it's not usually discussed by the creator of the video. It adds a really beautiful personal impact to it.
Helped in the past, even though sometimes it makes me feel sick. I just have to keep going. God, the amount of times I'd also get little spots in my vision where I couldn't actually see. It was almost like whatever I was focusing on, there would be a hole. And sure, that happens sometimes, but at least I don't feel anxious anymore about, the body anxiety thing. Now I just feel anxious because I can't actually work. The whole reason I took this was to treat my ADHD, and now it's causing its own problems, but maybe I just need to take more. Maybe I could take more. Okay, there's a slight amount of energy there. I still feel bad. Let me just take a little bit more, and oh God, now I'm nauseous. I feel sick, and I don't want to move. And why was I taking this thing again? What once was something I'd occasionally take to treat my ADHD slowly became something I had to take so that I wasn't going to feel overwhelmingly anxious. I was only ever in two states, either on Kratom and feeling okay/nauseous, or thinking about the next time I could take Kratom.
That's scary, bro.
Did I just wake up? Well, it's time for a cup of kratom. It's just like coffee, haven't you heard? Oh, got that mid-afternoon anxiety? Kratom makes you feel better. Slowly but surely, I developed a Pavlovian response to any sort of negative emotion, where if I felt bad for any sort of reason, oh, I broke a mug. God, well, kratom, I gotta have kratom, that'll make me feel better. To the point where any negative feeling began to have this hook in my brain of, you need to take this drug, it will make you feel better. I wasn't able to experience any of the negatives of life because I'd had something that would cure all those problems. And I know if you've never taken a substance like this, it can feel like, this is so stupid. Obviously you wouldn't do that. This is just how addiction works. It did.
Well, also there's this idea that nothing bad happens in life. So a lot of people get blindsided by the sheer amount of things that can possibly be upsetting, let alone think that there's constantly a way to like solve it or a way to not deal with them. And a lot of people think that just not dealing with it is a way to solve dealing with it or having them. Where, well, I can just not. If I don't address these things, then they don't matter. So, I mean, and that's a huge part of this sort of thing where there's this idea that, well, if I am upset, I can take this, and then not only am I no longer upset, I'm not thinking about what made me upset. So it's not real.
Didn't hit immediately. It insidiously took its time until I didn't realize it. But not really, because the scariest part about this, for the most part for me, I wasn't unaware. I was incredibly aware of what was going on. I knew what was happening. I knew I was taking more. I knew it wasn't doing anything. And yet I had to keep taking it because of what it was and what it could be and what I needed. I didn't want to feel anxious all the time, and this seemed to be the only thing I could do. I meditated, I did yoga, I went out for runs, I did everything that you're supposed to do to manage these anxieties and live naturally. But I also took kratom, which supersedes all of those things.
I then bought myself this time-lock safe. I'd go back to the way I was. I was happy back then. I think. If I ever take any kratom, then I store the rest of it in this safe, and I cannot access it at all until the next day if I just set the timer to over 24 hours. The next day, though, never felt successful. Never felt good. It just felt wasted. Why am I doing this again? Why can't I take more kratom? Why do I have to control myself so much? Why not just take more? It's really not harming anything at all. It's actually helping me. I have to work, but God, I could work so much better if I could just get some kratom. At least to stop thinking about it.
Crazy.
I've placed some matcha powder in a bag in this safe for a demonstration. At the height of my addiction, I stood at this very counter in my kitchen, shaking and smacking the sides of my safe once I realized the bag inside was not closed tightly. Little by little, small, fine powder would escape the safe and find its way onto the counter.
No, bro.
I stood for 20 minutes, violently shaking and smacking the box until I'd collected what I thought was just enough. I had to scrape fine dust powder into a pile, somehow use a credit card to scrape it into a mug so I could put it down my throat. I looked at myself in that moment. I could see what I was doing. I could see what I'd become. I knew it was insane.
That sucks, bro.
I came up with the conclusion. It was finally about time. I maybe close the bag a bit more tightly next time. Yeah, that'll solve the problem. Next time, I shoved a knife into the side of the lid, nearly cutting my hand from the torn plastic as I accidentally split the tub right down the middle. I did it. I was okay. For one more day. But before I could find an actual way out of my addiction, I still had to contend with kratom's legal status. Unlike in the USA, which has no federal restrictions on the drug, the UK passed a blanket ban on all psychoactive substances in 2016, outside of a small list of very specific ones. Though I disagree with this law in theory, it was useful for me in this case. This doesn't make it impossible to get, it just makes it harder. Using it or buying it from someone within the UK isn't restricted, just the sale of it and the import.
In the USA, many states ban kratom, but knowing how addictive the substance can be, that's nothing that a 6-hour drive across state borders can't fix. Here in Tennessee, kratom is fully legal, but in nearby Arkansas and Alabama, it is not. So just simply drive to Tennessee and get yourself your fix. But when it comes to other countries around the world, well, in the countries that kratom originated from, a lot of them heavily restrict the plant. And in many European countries, it is also heavily restricted. But despite everything I've told you so far, you might be surprised to hear I don't think banning kratom is a good idea. Mostly because I think outright banning most drugs is a bad idea. In my opinion, kratom shouldn't be banned, but more heavily restricted, so that it can only easily be accessible by way of a prescription from a licensed healthcare professional. And I know a lot of people might find a problem with that and say, oh, the whole point of it is it's accessible, plant-based medicine, and you don't need big pharma. But with a substance like this that has such a strong case for making people addicted to it and having negative repercussions, I think we should put that behind a healthcare professional. It always confuses me when people start...
Essentially because it would become unregulated, and then people who would want it would start looking for it by other means, and they would potentially get hurt. The people providing it would potentially do so in nefarious ways. They would end up putting stuff in it to cut costs. This is a huge issue with like fentanyl, by the way, is that fentanyl is pretty much indiscernible from other white powdered substances like cocaine, obviously. So and literally obviously this could be seen as an exaggeration, but as simple as flour. And people who try to sell fentanyl to people will do that. They'll say it's fentanyl, and they'll put all sorts of shit in it and claim it's pure fentanyl when it's absolutely not. It might not even have it in there. It's a common thing, unfortunately.
Vaping nicotine. You know, the thing that was started as a way to wean people off the more harmful cigarette? Yeah, that's now causing a fresh addiction in people that have never once touched a cigarette in their lives.
Yep.
Why would you start that? With kratom, because the way it plays on the opioid receptors, you might not be surprised to find out that people that are abusing drugs, such as morphine, codeine, and even full-blown heroin, have found a lot of success weaning themselves off these harder drugs by taking kratom. These drugs can absolutely destroy your life, and the withdrawal symptoms from them can be so severe that it causes pretty much everyone to just relapse, and kratom is helping prevent that. That can't be too bad a thing, correct? That, and for many people living with chronic pain, traditional painkillers might not be as effective, or worse, they might find themselves allergic to traditional painkillers. So kratom acts as a natural solution to this. And if you find yourself living in chronic pain and you think you might have found a solution to that pain, realistically, no law is going to stand in the way of you trying to help yourself. But that's why a possible solution here is to regulate kratom. Invest in kratom studies. Make sure that it is kept up to rigorous standards and that the products are only sold in pharmacies, not just easily accessible next to the till at a gas station, so that a curious person who's never heard of it before won't just pick it up and go, oh, this sounds nice, I could use some energy, and then they end up with a year-long, 4-year-long, 6-year-long, hopefully not longer, addiction. I mean, good news for the gas station companies who are raking in the money, getting people hopelessly addicted to a opioid light or gas station heroin, but really bad news for the American populace who don't know any better. This is the whole point of regulation. This is what we have it for, you dum-dum. You know, I originally had scripted this saying the fact that these kratom products are sold in the back counter of gas stations should be a red flag on its own. And then I actually went into an American gas station and found the situation was significantly worse. Cigarettes? Oh yeah, those are kept in the back behind the counter. Don't want to get people to just pick them up and get them, right? Kratom? No, that was literally right next to the till. I could pick it up, grab it, and give it to the guy. That is really messed up. That should not be allowed. No, the head of the American health system is, what? What's he doing? He's saying vaccines are bad? Oh, of course. Oh, ADHD isn't real. Of course. People are like clowns and they're wondering why they're somehow in a circus all of a sudden. Anyway, that and the full effects of kratom are rarely communicated effectively on any of these new kratom products. You might get lucky and find some small print on the back that says something about kratom possibly developing addiction for you, and maybe you gotta split it up into 1 or 2 doses within this very, very tiny bottle. But I've seen products like New Brew, for instance, which is advertised all over TikTok as the cool thing to do, like alcohol. No way. That's old people stuff. These days, Gen Zs, we take some New Brew. Yeah. Kratom is like alcohol.
Euphoric seltzer. Bro.
These days, Gen Zs, we take some new brew. Yeah. Kratom is like alcohol for kids. Does that sentence not sound weird to you? Not at all, no? Like alcohol for the new age. Yeah, a healthy dose of alcoholism for the new age as well. But despite it being marketed as similar to alcohol, or even similar to coffee, the withdrawal symptoms from Kratom are anything but.
I didn't just quit Kratom once. I didn't just quit Kratom twice. Like most people who've tried to quit, I would feel super successful after I got past that initial hump of physical withdrawal symptoms and mark myself completely free.
Yeah.
I got past the muscle aches, the sleepless nights, the flu-like symptoms, and complete and total body fatigue.
Yeah. Withdrawal goes
But the
in
main
waves,
thing that would always bring me back was up here. It was the cravings. It would sometimes feel like Kratom was the one ring, and anytime I wasn't on it, my brain would be calling to it, thinking about it. Maybe just a little now wouldn't be so bad. I've been pretty good so far. I bet I've reset my tolerance, and I can be good about it this time. Remember those rules? I bet I can follow them now. And, hey, I bet it feels great. Turns out if you condition your brain to expect a substance to boost your mood every time you're low, you begin to develop a Pavlovian response. Something bad happen? You can bet your brain is already cooking up a strategy to get more Kratom. It's just the way it works. At first, I tried a strategy of keeping it out of my house, thinking that would work. But that just resulted in me feeling awful during the week until I could access some more. And at one point, I literally got more. So I just felt trapped. The only strategy that effectively worked for me was getting rid of all of it and doing everything I could not to get any more. I signed up to therapy and cut out Kratom cold turkey. And those cravings I would get would ebb and flow week after week, month after month. I'd be so close to relapsing, but luckily, it's not a thing I could get as easily in the UK, so I dealt with the cravings and intense body anxiety for over 3 months. And sure, it was a bit easier for me to avoid the temptation of Kratom in the UK, where it is much harder to get, but I did have a big problem coming up. I was about to take a big trip to America where I could easily find Kratom while getting gas. What if I had it again there? What if it was just once? It could be fine. How am I to know unless I try? I think back to one of the most pivotal moments of that trip. It's true, I could buy Kratom anywhere, and in fact, no fewer than 5 times did I look up where I could buy Kratom along my route. The cravings were insidious, yet each and every time, something stopped me from carrying through. I'd text a friend, or try to consider some wild American dish instead. I'd be around the corner from the shop that I could get some at, but I'd decide against it at the last second. I was 2 months clean, so I bet I'd be fine. I'd just have to have it once. I ended up calling a friend up from a park in Chicago to reason through my plan to just get one more fix, to just have once. And I realized that from the act of calling him, I was desperately looking for him to tell me not to take it. I thought of all the nauseous days. I thought of all the body anxiety. I thought of what my partner would think. I thought of all the shame and the grief that this had brought upon me. I thought about what I did to the counter. Why would I want to risk that again? Even if I did just take one bit, one more time, wouldn't that possibly reset the clock in my body yearning to feel it again?
Absolutely.
For what? Would any sort of feeling be remotely worth that? Here I am, spending some valuable time that I have on this earth in a lovely park in Chicago on the phone with a friend talking about some stupid green sludge. I ended the call with my friend, and I did end up walking into that store that sold Kratom. I looked at the many bags on the shelves. I even had a chat with the guy behind the counter. And then I ended up taking this photo. Fuck Kratom.
Powerful, dude. Well, that's fucking gorgeous.
It turns out, the only way I could find to successfully shake my addiction was fully admitting my addiction was bigger than me.
Okay, wait a minute. First of all, fire way to do a video essay right here. What a great idea. What? Love this. Love this. What cool, like, artistry is this, man? Just video essaying on his bike on a bike trail. Fire. Fire.
I don't have the self-control to fight against a thing that causes chemical imbalances in my brain. I'm not smarter than anyone else that also got addicted. We're one and the same. Human. Unless I can fully shake myself from its grasp, I can't trust myself to ever have it again. Who knows if it'd be like the beginning? Who knows if that'd be enough? Who knows if I'd want more? No. I think that's just about enough.
Beautiful.
After a few months of therapy and a healthy dose of cycling, the most incredible thing happened. The body anxiety that mysteriously appeared and felt like my general sense of being slowly began to wash away. I came back from that road trip a changed person. I made a decision. I took back control. And now I'm over a year clean and without any body anxiety to speak of. Maybe the anxiety found itself in me as my brain was seeking any sort of solution, any sort of way it could to get me to take more of the green sludge. But now I'm happy. I find joy in everything I used to, from cycling, playing video games, making videos, and more. And I don't need to take anything to feel like that. This is just my general state of being, and it's honestly a beautiful thing.
That is awesome, bro. Puppy.
I'd be lying if I said I don't ever feel the pull to take some kratom now and again. Sometimes I'll have a particularly bad day in which a thought quite quickly enters my brain.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is...
You want to take some kratom? Thankfully, the following thought is also quite quick. Absolutely fucking not. Addiction is not your fault. And though it might seem impossible, just know you can come out the other side. No matter where you are in your life,
this is awesome,
please don't start taking kratom. And just know the only way to really feel free from this drink is being free from it.
Ew. Ugh. It looks like poo water. Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. Yeah, fuck that. Mm-mm. No, no, no. That's crazy, dude. I mean, mad props. That's gotta be tough, dude. I mean, yeah, that's gotta be awful. No doubt. No doubt. I mean, that's a great video to watch, man, because I mean, I don't know what some of you deal with, you know. I don't know if some of you have dealt with similar or the same or anything like that, but you know, I think it's important to show this for two reasons. Because one, some of you might deal with it currently, the same exact thing. Some of you might deal with similar, or some of you might be tempted. And I'm happy to use my platform just to sort of maybe potentially talk some of you guys out of it, man. Yeah. I'm pretty sure now is the time that we're supposed to be playing Peak. But I'm going to go use the bathroom because I haven't peed this whole time and I have to pee. And my wife just got home, so I'm going to go say hi. So I will be right back.